So today the plenary made a motion or make a decision to summon the authorities of the Central Bank of Liberia to give
Mhm.
updates on the printing of the new Liberian dollars banknotes. How
Mhm.
far have they gone? How much has been printed? And what's the progress in removing the legacy banknotes from the market and what they've done so far surrounding that?
Mhm.
And so they are expected to appear before a committee of a whole
Mhm.
to give update on that. Also, there were some issues raised about the rate. There are some areas you go is the rate is 175, okay, and it's fluctuating rating so area 74, 174, 175. Unless when the president wants to explode now, then they bring it down to 170 and they want to get more profit for $5.
Hmm.
So the rate is high. Though in most cases when
What is the rate, by the way?
like I said, the rate some areas is 175. 175 to some
Mhm.
areas 170. It has gone as far as 180. So it's between 175 180. That's the rate now. So yes, if it continues like this, it might just go to $800 for you know a dollar. No, I mean for a
Yeah.
dollar US, you're gonna have $800. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Wow.
sorry.
It's
Yeah.
been a
So
while
it's
since we've seen that kind of fluctuation in the rate like that, right?
yeah. So you will see it from 177, 178, 180, sometimes
Mhm.
185.
Mhm.
Yes, so it'll be about 185. I think I made a little error when I said 800. 180, 185, or 90. And it's possible if you go to 200. Okay. So in other parts of the country, for that, things are once the rate goes up, things prices continue to increase. And one
Yeah.
of the areas is Grand Bassa County. Grand Bassa, as we told, prices of basic commodities are skyrocketing. um, the fuel oil, rice, and those basic commodities, like their prices are skyrocketing. It is because of the issue with the breach, and also the economic
The
reasons
sluggish
for,
economy.
yes, the sluggish economy, like the protein put it, that
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
economy is sluggish. And so
It's slowing down. Things are not, they didn't get the revenue that they expected to get. I hear there may be you recasting of the budget.
yes, and so they're talking about recasting the budget,
Hmm.
uh, because there may be a major shortfall in the
Yes.
budget. Yes,
Hmm.
because according to the protein, since the passage of the budget, the economy has been sluggish. Payments have
Yeah.
not been on time.
Correct.
Yes, and it's not been as it used to be. So since part of this budget is not been functioning well, the revenue generation aspect of it is slow.
Yes.
So they will have to do a recast. So sometimes the numbers that are passing the budget, they're not realistic sometimes. I don't know what's the projection that are made in those studies that the economists will do before they come up with the numbers. But the protein has said that there will be a recast of the budget. So
Yeah.
that's just one of the issues. So the central bank people will appear before the legislature. They're going to appear in a committee of a whole.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish that they will give update. Now the next trending news is that we can recall the last time Macaulay Barrow was on the radio and he said he got unconfirmed information that Senator Pena was going to join the Unity Party, but that information was untrue. Apparently, Barrow did not get the name correct, but a member of the Legislative Caucus of Grand Judea County, who was not part of the Unity Party or has never supported Joseph Boakai, has now declared his support. I understand that will be one of the talking points here. We have the video, and then when the CEO and all the panelists come in, we're gonna play that. So he has pledged his support. He's Ellis Grant of Grand Jida County, and his name itself as Jida Rescue. As yeah, he, he
They
say
rescue business that you said,
yeah.
huh?
So he's actually from the MDR. No, not the MDR, but the LPDP. Okay, he was a member of the LPDP. Actually, he got elected on the MPC ticket of Simon Freeman. Then he flipped over to the LPDP. Now he's going to support Joseph Imam Boakai of the United Party. Just before that, there was
He's a representative, a senator,
a representative.
a representative
Yeah,
from Grand Gita.
Grand Jida County.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So just before that announcement he made today, or maybe I think it was just a clarity or confirmation that the press in there for him,
Mhm.
because the youth wing of the United Party, the CDC in Grand Jida County
Mhm.
had already suspended him. I don't know how
Well,
possible it is that the youth wing will suspend an executive member of the of the party, but there was a statement that came out of Grand Jida County that the CDC Youth League suspended Ellis Grant and calling on everyone not to do business with Ellis Grant because he was carrying on. He was a double agent within the CDC, conniving with Rescue 2, quote unquote, Jeremiah Kuhn, and he was there under the sleeve of the darkness, king alone, Jeremiah Kuhn. Just confirmation, the guys have already got the intelligence and they suspended him. So,
mm,
yes, so that was it.
so then I guess that made him just kind of go more to Unity Party, right?
Yeah, he's already the
Yeah,
United
that's
Party.
pushing.
I don't
That's
know what the strength he has in the county. I don't know how strong he is, but he has
mm,
won an election. He has been tested through an electoral process. So he
mm,
could be someone who say, okay, he has a district voting for him to win an election. So
mm,
he may have some level of positives for the United Party, but when the ball bounces, the people say, and we know what will be the results. So the next trending news is today. The United Party standard bearer and the vast standard bearer, Joseph Boakai and Jeremiah Kuhn, along with the entire quote unquote rescue train, was in Monserrato County District number 11. It was a joint program. People from District number 12 were also included in that program. And so they form part of their program today. There are some debates on the social media. What is now trending is whether or not they were able to pull the crowd, because nowadays and the politics in Liberia is not about the issue again, it's about the crowd. Mostly we've seen posts from folks within the CPP questioning the United Party's ability to pull more people, especially in Monserrato County that is very popular. And so
mhm,
people like Mariah Yakula and other folks are questioning the United Party, yes, and saying that they did not pull the crowd, and like they claim to be the rescue train or the people are gravitating towards them. And so they will, how you call it? It does not show that they have a strength. While the United Party people, on the other hand, have another portion of the photo that they sharing around that
yeah.
they generated a lot of people. There were a lot
Mhm,
of people who turned out. Okay,
mhm,
so it is a debate between who pulled the cry and who did not pull the cry. Yes, so that's it. About yesterday, I was in Bomi County.
mhm,
I was privileged to travel along with the Senate Joint Committee on Mines, Natural Resources and Environment, Labor, and also Concessions. Those three committees dispatched a six-man delegation
mhm,
to the how you call it, the concession area of Western Cluster. And
mhm,
at that meeting, there are
mhm,
several things that were discussed and several things that we observe. As a matter of fact, Western Cluster subcontracted about three other companies that are working, one of them. So in their own employer, they have only 10 persons directly working for Western Cluster. Then those 10 persons are about 8 Indians and just 2 Liberians working directly on a Western Cluster. And then you have other companies that have been, you know, subcontracted with lots of Ghanaians also working with just
mhm,
2 Liberians. Even accountants, you have them. They are the accountants there. They have them as how you call them, Ghanaians. Maintenance officers are Ghanaians.
mhm.
Rock crushing uh, 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 supervisors are
And
Ghanaians. So there
yes.
are so many positions there. We also observe that they claim that they, because one of the issues that have been trending is the issue about the assessment report, the assessment report on the environmental assessment report on whether or not Western Cluster can, truck the iron ores through the roads to the Freeport. They claim
Mm-hmm.
that they have that report, but they could not provide any evidence or any proof that they have the report because they could not provide that report. They also claim that they have a road permit from the Ministry of Public Works. They did not provide that also to the committee. And so members of the committee will report on what they observe. But what I observe is that the company does not show any sign of you know, of that they really intend to remain, you know, in Liberia. It shows like a scam that they are operating and just want a particular quantity of gold, I mean iron ore from that place, and then they can pull up because if you went there, they have makeshift structures like containers. That's why they're operating in their corporate office, and the place just seems as though there isn't a multinational company that
Mm-hmm.
is multi-million dollar company that is working there
Mm-hmm.
in the interest of the people. They've not even been able to pay the People's Social Development Fund in the tune of $5 million. Yeah, the money that the obligations that they had, according to them, they paid some, but they still owe around $6.5 million. And so those are things we observe. But the Senate committees, the three committees will report, and then we will come forward to accurately see as to whether they're being honest with what we observe, whether in line with what they're going to be reporting.
Yeah, that's really tough to hear. That they're just taking seems to be taking our resources, like you were saying. That's your observation, Aaron. That they're taking the resources, not really caring about the environment or actually caring about developing Liberia. It's just like they're just taking the resources and leaving. But we'll get into that story. We'll talk about it. But anything else, Aaron?
No,
Anything
not
else?
nothing much except that you would like to ask for detail, maybe some things that I may not have offhand now. Maybe some of the things I didn't say, maybe I have them, but I didn't. Maybe I did not touch on them. There are some things you want to know about.
Sure.
Yeah, yes, I could
I'll,
also
I'll be
touch on.
texting you. I'll be texting you. You provided really great information. So you did a great job. Thank you. But we'll be letting you know as we go along.
Okay,
Yeah. Sorry, someone was just texting me. Uh, all right. So let me welcome Daniel Sano and also Gibson Jeru to the program. We want to welcome you today. Thank you for joining me. Aaron basically told us some of the trending news in Liberia. If you just give me a minute, let me also welcome our viewers because they are very, very important to this show. They write their comments, they participate, they listen, and they seem to have really strong interest in our country. I like, the viewers. So I want to start off by just welcoming Henry Passaway from North Carolina, Francis Weah, uh, Dub Hoff, Lydia Nimley. Hi, Lydia. How are you? Lydia is a childhood friend of mine. Uh, Kalilu Trawali is also here. George Flomo. Diana K. Sami is here. Um, Joseph Mayengo is here. Maria Moore. Agnes Finda Samuka. Martin Mena. Martin, I'm sorry, I can say your middle name. I'll just go by Martin Mena. Joseph Kokro from Hamilton, New Jersey. Koti Braplet is here. Comfort Bra is watching from Morovia. Uh, Bimba Dukle is also watching. Semin Innocent Marlu is watching. Tommy T. Soar is watching from Stephen Topper Estate. Mohammed Kiawen is watching from, I think he said Western Cluster. I'm not sure what he's saying here. Um, Clarence Benson from Ontario, Canada. We have a lot of people from all over the world watching us. We have Dwe Yama from Kampala, Uganda. That's great. Thank you. Call all the people in Kampala to watch us. Tipo PK Dempster. Tipo always say I don't call his name. Tipo, I'm calling your name today. Tipo PK Dempster. How are you? Bavi D. Colette is also here. Thank you very much for being here. Common Man is here. He said Mr. Gibson is very objective. Mr. Gibson, you have a fan. We're here. Common Man. Uh, Mohammed V. Fode is watching from St. Cloud, USA. Wilma Tucker is watching. I'm sorry. Wilma Knuckles. Wilma Knuckles is watching from Minnesota. Dulu is also here. Kafuma Dunso is here. Fuma M. Sisse is from Matadi Singer. And Anthony Way is from Belgium. That's great. June's Queen he says, hello, Spoon family. So I want to just welcome all of you viewers to our show. We're really thankful that you can be here to join us today. So I'm going to just ask you guys what's on your mind. You heard some of the trending issues. Can you just tell me what's on your mind? We'll start with you, Daniel. What's on your mind? What are you thinking about? Daniel, we can't hear you. You're muted.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing? You good? You good now?
Yes.
Yes. What's on your mind, Daniel? How's Monrovia?
Monrovia is good. We are happy to be back here.
Mm-hmm.
We celebrate our birthday
Oh,
day before yesterday.
I'm so sorry. Happy birthday to you. We didn't even get a chance to tell you to sing the happy birthday song. Everybody, happy birthday. Please
No
tell us
problem.
birthday. So what
Thank
did you
you.
do? How did you spend the day?
Well, the day was good. We spent the day at the office with some friends
Mm-hmm.
because the job wouldn't permit us to do much celebration. Besides that, this is not the time to celebrate. We have a lot of work on hand to do.
Okay, that's good. Hard working.
But we are happy to be back here. And, a lot is on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
The other day we were here, we talk about the trend of events in the country. And a lot is happening. I listened to Aaron talking about the program that was held today on the Banafe Estate fee.
Mm-hmm.
But in addition to what Aaron said,
Mm-hmm.
I think the level of endorsement that the Bwaga ticket continue to receive across the country is overwhelming. The group called the Southeastern Alliance for the Re-election of WIA. I'm told this group was established 2 years ago to canvass for the re-election of George Weah.
Mm-hmm.
And that group on yesterday endorsed the election of Ambassador Joseph Imabwaka and Jeremiah Kuhn.
Mm-hmm.
So this, to a greater extent, again justify what I said the other day, that the trend of event now is changing. It's moving counterclockwise, because in 2011, what we witnessed was President Salif and the Unity Party were going for re-election. And you had all of the big names in the country, folks from the opposition, endorsing the re-election bid of President Salif. Now, contrary to what we witnessed in 2011, 2023 seems to be a different ball game. The Cuban president who is going for re-election is being increasingly alienated and isolated, ostracized. You see people from the government, auxiliary groups that have worked with the CDC for years now endorsing the main opposition candidate. It's something that we'll have to look deeper into. But I think if the trend of event is anything to go by, Mr. Weah should consider himself a gunner. In this case, the Liberian presidency good bad, because from the way we're looking at things, from the things we're seeing here, it doesn't favor him to see groups that were formed for the sole purpose of an election. And interestingly, so the Southeastern region, if you know, is one of the regions that is that is predominantly, I mean, represented in government. You see people, ministers from various agencies of government are from the Southeastern region, the Minister of Transport, the Maritime Commissioner, the Minister of Information, the Minister of Finance, all the people in the government, top officials. Even at the legislature, you see the Speaker, Deputy Speaker, President pro tempore, they all come from the Southeastern region. So to see this group that was formed for the election, for the re-election of we are endorsing the debate of the Bwagakon ticket, I think it speaks for a whole lot. And sometimes it gets important that we follow this trend because it's leading somewhere. It's leading somewhere. I do believe that at this point, Cuba should be on top of the game, but when you come to Liberia, you come to Monrovia, it is as if we're not going to election. The only thing you see is about opposition politics. Nothing is heard about the ruling government that is going for re-election. We're going to go deeper into the program today, later on the show. I mean,
Sure.
I think that program was successful. I see some of our friends trying to honor the efforts that were being made, voluntary effort by people to bring Ambassador Bwaga to District number 11. We'll talk about it also. But thank you for having me here again.
Sure. Yeah, I'm interested in knowing what made the program successful, as you said. So, so I'll come back around to have you tell us what made the program successful. So, Mr. Gibson Jerry, welcome. It's good to see you again.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate it to be here all the time.
Yeah. So, what's on your mind?
I am attracted to two things that concern Bility. The first one has to do with Musa Bility promising or vowing to collect the money that was collected by Nyombi Kanga in the United States from the Liberty Party USA chapter.
Mhm.
I'm concerned because even despite the Supreme Court opinion, despite the Election Commission's recognition of the Musa Bility faction or Musa Bility as chairman, as a legitimate chairman of the Liberty Party, Nyombi Kanga continues to raise money in the name of the organization. And I think this is the bad thing to do because she cannot, even in the face of Supreme Court opinion and the Election Commission decision, she cannot go and represent the Liberty Party and collect money in the name of the Liberty Party without the acquiescence of the national chairman, without the acquiescence of the leadership. If she must do that, she must get the approval of the national leadership. Otherwise, the Liberty Party should be able to issue a lawsuit against her for impersonation, that is impersonation, collecting money on a false pretense, presenting yourself as the leader of the Liberty Party, and you are collecting money from Liberty Party USA chapter. It is, for me, it's an impersonation and collecting money on a false pretense. And if the Bility will do well to collect that money, it will show to other people that when the laws speak, people should be able to obey the law. The case was taken to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, no, Madam Senator Lawrence, you are not the head of the Liberty Party. The head of the Liberty Party is Musa Bility. So why is it that she will not listen to what the law says? Even at the level of the Supreme Court, she took a complaint to the Election Commission. Election Commission said, based on everything else, what we see here is Musa Bility is the legitimate chairman of the Liberty Party, and he is a leader of the Liberty Party. But she continued to call herself the leader and is now collecting money in the name of Liberty Party. So I think Liberty Party should go ahead and fulfill their promise to be able to recollect the money from Nyombi Kanga, because this is not good for politics. It's not even good for them, for all of them. I mean, the second thing is, I was drawn to a story written by the Front Page Africa, and the Front Page wrote that the LRA confirmed that they closed the Streamex company.
Yeah.
What surprised me is that they were unable to give figure. I mean, if you grant an interview to the journalist and you say, yes, we closed them, and you can still tell us how much the man owes, and we are here dabbling with figures. Oh, the man owe 165,000, the man owe 400,000, the man owe this 5 million. Why is it the LRA cannot come up with a definitive figure that they know the ability owes, and they left it in the hands of guessers? We are now guessing what it is. So that's the first thing I said the other day. If you were on here, I said this smells like a political witch hunt, or maybe it has politically motivated, because if the LRA is sure that Liberty, the Stability Company owes money, and they are shutting down that company operations, there should be no doubt they should have figures. They should have figures to put out there and say, we are shutting this man down, to the company down, because the company owes the government of Liberia this amount of money. Now, the only figures we have are the figures that are coming from the Stability. Why are they treating us like this? They are not even giving us the information. The public deserves the information, not just Mr. Ability's benefit, but all of us. We have discussed this thing, and I think we need to hammer this so that we can call on the LRA to come out and tell us what figure do they have that Mr. Ability's company owes. Because otherwise than that, I will put on my opposition quote and say this is politically motivated, and there's no reason for them to go and put Ability name out there as someone who owes when they even know exactly what was happening. Maybe this is an arrangement between them, and they decided to embarrass Mr. Ability with the extension to Mr. Cummings. And so I would think that the LRA is not doing justice to not only Ability alone, but to the public. They should be able to tell us exactly how much the Streamex company owes.
Yes. Yeah, Mr. Jeru, that was what was on my mind as well. The second portion of your discussion about Mr. Ability owing. I believe that Streamex was reopened yesterday.
Right.
So it suggests to me, I'm siding with you, that it is a political witch hunt to sort of include, Mr. Ability in all these scandals and Mr. Cummings in these scandals. That is unfair. You're right. Nobody told us how much was owed in the paper. Number one. Number two, there were 6 other companies that owe money. Why are we just selecting one person? That is classic witch hunting to me. And somebody said, "Oh, every time is Ability involved in these things, he was involved in the land deal." Ability was appointed by Ellen in the land. He was appointed by Ellen in the airport deal. He was also he owns a company, and we can't sit here and say FIFA is a reputable organization either. Most of FIFA's executives are either in jail or facing some kind of court proceedings.
Right.
So and then when you own a business, it is expected for you to owe taxes, and you hire a lot of people. So I think governments sometimes have to weigh, do we want to shut a business down that is feeding Liberian people, hiring Liberian people, or do we just want to just keep the business open and make payment arrangements to collect taxes? So I get confused, over just selecting one.
I hope this is not intended. I don't know this is not intended as an arrow towards Mr. Cummings.
It is.
Okay, I mean,
that's
you
how
can
I
say that definitively. I'm beginning to question, and it tells me that the government itself is playing politics with other people's lives and other people's reputation. If what is written in the front page today, that the government, the LRA was unable to say how much Ability owes, and overnight Ability company was reopened. And I will come back to what Councilor Backus said the other day, that it is the government that is to be blamed for all of this.
Yes.
If even Mr. Ability owes, after 5 years, you should have instituted this process long time. Now wait until 4 months to the election, and then you flag the man's name. And he is not the only person his company is not the only company that even owes you.
Mhm.
So it's just, it's for me, it's bizarre. And I
Yeah.
think we need to call on the LRA to
Can I say something?
Yes.
Yes.
Hold on, Senator. And I remember there was another show that we had, and there were suggestions that they were going to go after his company in that show. I can't remember, but they were saying, "Oh, we're going to have the LRA come to a Senate hearing, and you guys just stay tuned and watch it." There was kind of like a subtle suggestion that something was going to happen to these oil companies, but we just only saw one oil company being selected. Yes, I want to agree with everybody else. He does owe taxes to the government. That's the fact. Okay, but all of the other subsequent things that are happening just don't seem right in terms of what is being played out. Yes, Sandra, you want to say something? And then I want to welcome Mr. Farquhar.
Yes. But before I say what I want to say on the Berete Shemesh issue, I think Mr. Julu is trying to misinform the public, because when you come on a public platform and try to make specific reference to Supreme Court ruling and ruling for NEC, then you are on obligation to go beyond just referencing that to specifically state what is in the Supreme Court ruling and what is even in some letter that you talk about from NEC. I don't know you from anywhere. Maybe you don't know what is happening in the Liberty Party, but it is wrong to come on spoon and make wrongful insinuations. When you read the Supreme Court rulings, a 20-page document, if you have the time, maybe you don't have the appetite to read it, I will send it to you. If you read it, nothing in that ruling ever talk about the leadership of the party. The Supreme Court ruling basically talk about two things: that the NEC does not have authority to hear count one of the complaint that was filed by Senator Nyombi Kanga Lawrence and other parties against Mr. Berete. And that count border on the criminal alteration of the party document. The Supreme Court said NEC does not have the authority. If we want to prosecute him, we can go to the court of competent jurisdiction. So to come on spoon, I don't know whether you and Mr. Berete got some alliance, to come on spoon and say somebody is collecting money in the name of the party illegally. What render is illegal? Senator Lawrence is a political leader undisputedly. She's a political leader of the Liberty Party. We have had fundraiser in Liberia. If Berete wants to go to court, he can go to court. But going to court must be informed on substantial issue. All the bogus thing that Mr. Berete had done, one of our friends from the ANC, including yourself, will say that you, a political party is an organization that is governed by law. When you criminally alter the party constitution and you keep taking decisions unilaterally, and you want us to believe it, you want to accept it, it wouldn't work. So the Liberty Party issue is not something that you can jump into and make conclusion to say somebody is illegally collecting the name, they mean money in the name of the party. It is not true. The program that was organized in America, who's in the Lawrence, was invited to, even Mr. Berete himself was invited, but I'm sure because of the record, he cannot be given visa by the U.S. Embassy, so he didn't go there. Okay, so that she went there to grace that occasion organized by partisans. What makes it illegal?
Okay,
So,
Mr.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Thank you. Well, Mr. Sanu, yes, please hold on a second, okay? Mr. Jerry, just hold on. I want to welcome Lamin Farquhar. Mr. Farquhar, welcome to the show. Do you have any comments to make before we go to having Mr. Gibson and Mr. Sanu discuss? And I also want to welcome the former CEO, former CEO, and also Mr. Farquhar to the show.
I think that was a good discussion going on. So I didn't want to disrupt the rhythm. So maybe you can allow them to flow a little bit, then we can come back.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I have a few questions, a couple of questions for.
So I didn't conclude. Before
Well, yeah, so just ask the question, you can continue on that.
Well, but wait now, you gotta give your friend
Let me
chance
ask
to
you
ask
a question
questions.
because all of what you are saying, all of what you are
Questions.
saying, it looks like talking point, but I just want to ask you questions. Currently, under whose authority does NEC receive and accept candidates or aspirants?
So the point you raised for
It's a
I
straightforward
don't want to
question.
get that point.
It's a
I got
straightforward
your
question.
question.
It's a straightforward question.
I got
Don't
your
get it
question.
down with it.
I got your question. But I don't want you to evade what I was saying.
No,
Because
let's forget about that talking point.
you're on
asking
application.
you.
You can't come here and lie and say, "You forget about
No,
it."
no,
You lie.
Okay,
The person
forget
I
about the
agree that
lies.
you misinform the
Well,
public.
Mr. Sanders, please respect your colleague.
Please, my
No,
I know
brother,
we should speak.
my brother.
It's not better way to put it. That he misinformed the public.
No, we should
All
speak.
right, guys,
No.
hold on 1 minute. Guys, hold on. No. Sana, hold on. Let's watch our tone of words, please.
Absolutely.
We are all having a fun discussion. We shouldn't come and be so aggressive. We will settle down. Let's settle down. Now, Mr. Gibson, ask your question, and please pause to give Daniel the chance to answer, please.
Okay, let me repeat my question so you can answer it. Under whose authority does ECOM accept candidates or aspirants as contenders in the election? Under whose authority?
You done?
I'm done.
Go ahead, Sado. Go ahead.
Okay. So there are two things here. The next thing you talk about, you said, Senator Lawrence, Mr. Benedict can take Senator Lawrence to court because she's impersonating. These are grave allegations. When you sit on a public platform, people expect much more other than just spray our falsehood to them. So it is not true. Nobody's impersonating. If there's anybody who has scorned justice in the intra-party conflict within the Liberty Party, it is Mr. Benedict. Because guess what? Following the fundraiser that was held in Basel, Mr. Benedict went to the Civil Law Court. He filed a lawsuit. I want you to call Mr. Benedict tomorrow asking how far is he going with that lawsuit. Okay, the next thing here is he went to the next and said people are impersonating. I also want you to call him and ask him how far he's going with that case. There's no legal basis for any claim of impersonation. So your question as to who NEC recognizes, NEC has said to us repeatedly that they cannot do business with Liberty Party until the matter is resolved. So that Mr. Cummings and the ANC continue to use Liberty Party logo on the illegal institution called CPP, it's going to be challenged. It's going to be challenged. So you can rest assured that when the legal challenge is posed, those who are relying on using the logo of the Liberty Party illegally in this election, they will have themselves to blame. So
thank you.
Thank
you, Daniel.
NEC has told repeatedly that they are not going to recognize any side in the Liberty Party conflict until the matter is resolved. The Supreme Court ruling does not
Daniel, that's okay. That's Dr. Richardson. You want to take control of the show, please?
Not really, but
Gibson, you muted.
Gibson, you are muted. We'll come back to you, Gibson. We'll come back to you. Go ahead, Dr. Richardson.
Let me read something to you, Daniel.
Gibson.
We'll
come back to you, sir. We'll come back to you, please. We'll come back to you. Dr. Richardson.
Yes.
You need to ask others for the opening too. Those of us that just came in.
Okay.
We can dwell on that thing. We'll get back to it though.
I would have liked to have Gibson respond, but you know.
Yeah, I wanted to respond, but then I can talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll come back to you, Gibson. We'll come back to you, Gibson. Let us get others the chance. And, you know, this was just you guys' intro, and you went into it. So I don't think we're going to start a show like that and not giving the rest of the guys the chance. That's what Richard said.
No, I said I would have liked for Mr. Gibson to respond, and then we'll go around. Then I will, because they already start talking. It's unfinished business here.
Well, it'll be back and forth. But let me do my intro. I just want to welcome everybody on the show. I'm happy to see them. I'm happy to see you, Dr. Richardson. I'm happy to see Daniel Sandomo Ali and Eugene Fagon. And again, folks, thank you for joining Spoon as we wrap things up. But Fagon, welcome. Let's hear from you.
Why you want to hear from me? They put them fighting that wash it.
No, man, this thing alone thing will come back to it.
Okay.
You guys that coming with blood, give you an intro back.
Well, the only thing I can say is welcome to all of my colleagues. It's great to see you guys in battle. To the Liberian people watching tonight and those listening in Radio Land, it is not clear as to who the next president will be. You can know from when the people go to the pressing horse from 3 o'clock a.m. in the morning, and don't leave from there until after 2 days. Some gonna stay 1 day. You can know from what you saw today Today is Thursday. People go to work, they go about their business or their businesses. And for JMB to storm Bernardsville in the way he did, before the fee was getting today, after what they have seen, there is absolutely no argument. We're seeing people jumping ships. We see the chair of the Grand Jury Lower House Caucus, in her own words. We see other people from all around the country. Everywhere JMB goes, opening, I want to say, a lot of position of fighting amongst themselves. I want Liberians to know JMB supporters and his people such as Mo Ali and Daniel Sano, these are partisans. Me, I came from the CDC and I'm in the party, but I'm a supporter. For us, his supporters, in my opening to the world and to the Liberian people today, we will not fight people in the opposition. We will not attack people in the opposition, but we will defend our position. We will defend our position, and that is our support for JMB. We will also defend our candidate, and we'll also defend the interests of the Liberian people. So whenever they're watching the program, we want to call on them to listen carefully, that we will not attack our colleagues in the opposition, our compatriots, but we will defend with every string of our hair to the sole of our feet. Our blood, our sweat, and our tears will come with our words, that we will not surrender our candidate, neither will we surrender our ambition and our aspiration to see Joseph Boakai become the next president. It is already happening in Grand Jida. The world is watching it now. If Grand Jida, the last bastion of hope for George Weah, can crumble and surrender, then I don't see who will not surrender. I respectfully submit.
Wow, the Honorable Mo Ali.
Thank you, Stanton. Last night, we had the opportunity. First, let me say good evening to everyone and those in watching via social media and those listening via radio. We had the opportunity to have on the show the executive director of Center, who have said, supported Edith Gongwe in the 2020 senatorial election. So this morning, I was awakened by a call from one of the local radio stations that they are issued a release. In that release, they are vehemently denying the allegation of him being a supporter of Edith Gongwe, that he is not a part of any campaign. And at the end of the release, they called on me to retract my statement. So the radio station called and I told them that, look, I don't know when we started retracting statements. I thought Central, even after we have provided unimpeachable evidence that indeed Senator Kuhn did turn over the hospital for a period of 6 years, and after which, depending on the way the government manages the hospital, he was going to donate it to the government of Liberia for good, and that the hospital was turned over on January 22nd, 2020, long before the Central report was issued. I would have thought that Central would have gone back to that report and make an addendum and probably even appeal or apologize to Senator Kuhn for deliberately, willfully, willingly maligning his character in something that he is not complicit of. Instead, they were very fast in issuing a statement for Mo Ali to retract his comment. I stand by that comment. There is nothing there to retract, and I am calling on Central to do the most honorable thing, to make an addendum to that report that indeed Mr. Jeremiah Kuhn, Vice Chancellor of the Unity Party, has provided unimpeachable evidence to prove that the hospital was turned over. And in the document, it is clearly stated that he will not receive a dime from the operations of the hospital or from the government of Liberia for whatever purpose. And we go by that document. Central should do that honorable thing and withdraw that report and correct it. Thank you. Dr. Richardson, I'm through with my introduction.
Who's next? I wasn't paying attention. I had just came back. Who's next? Everybody spoke? Okay, Mr. Oh, Councilor, please go ahead.
I actually agree for you to allow the discussion between Gibson and Sando to proceed, because I didn't want to break the rhythm of that discussion. I think it was good for the public to understand some of these things, looking at the legal implications of what Gibson raised, for example. I think is necessary. What should be, and I want to take a page from my namesake, Eugene. Not Eugene, my namesake Lami, because my name is not Eugene. So you know, so I mean, what
program started.
So, but you know, what I want to really piggyback on from what Eugene said is that we should, you know, he will not be going after his opposition mates, and he will be focusing on the campaign. And I agree with him. I think we should do that, and that's the reason why I've been pushing all along since I joined this platform, that we should focus on the issues that distinguishes us from each other. So I mean, it will be a good thing going forward. We take these different platforms, and we just oppose them against each other, and let the Liberian people know where the strengths are, where the weaknesses are, and who may be the best to govern the country. I will close by saying the issue of transparency and accountability are key. Those are the two major issues that are bedeviling in this country today. If we do not focus on them to solve those problems, the country makes no progress. Yesterday, we were talking about the mining contracts in Western Liberia, the Western Cluster, how these people are mining with 10 people. Is it 10 people? 10 people, right? They're mining with 10 people, and probably maybe all the other people who are in the employees are the truck drivers.
10 Liberian employees.
10 Liberian employees, or eight Indian employees and 2 Liberian employees. I think that's what they said, right? 8 Indian employees and 2 Liberian employees. But I don't think those two are they, because the truck drivers that they use, I'm sure they are all Liberians. If you own that road in the night, because that's my neighbor who is along that route. When you own that road late in the night, your trucks are going back and forth all night. All night trucks are going back and forth. Yeah, trucks are going back and forth all night. You know, so what's the benefit? The road is in tatters. Nobody's doing anything to fix it. They try patching a little bit of it. No progress on that. No. So we need to focus on this issue of the benefits that come to our country, of how we dole out our natural resources, and what kind of returns we get from them. We need to focus on those things. We need to tell the Liberian people which of the political parties that are vying for leadership, excluding the CDC now, because for them, they already a very bad product, excluding them. Which of the other major political parties vying for leadership presents the best picture, the best opportunity, the best plans for us to move this country forward and put a stop to those bad deals that we continuously caught? So I think I agree with Eugene. We should push the discussion in those lines, along those lines, so that we can do well by our people. I will stop there for the time being.
Okay. All right. Everybody spoke already. So today, Front Page Africa reported
Stanton,
okay. Go ahead.
There is a guy, I don't know a guy or who, one Coty Drews Bro player. He's really insulting the comment section. I think you should see it and just block him. You don't need those kind of people in your comment section.
All right. So I was
Yeah, many of them are doing all the time. Many of them do all the time.
He's going completely rude, insulting somebody's wife and all those kind of stuff is way out of order.
Many of them do all the time. And some of them are even fake profiles. Because there's one person there who said they know me very well. I don't know that person from anywhere, but they say they know me very well. And it's clearly a fake profile because I check it out. It looks like a fake profile. But they cost all the time. It's not a new thing. I don't know. Aren't there any ground rules for these comments? Are there no ground rules?
But you're the lawyer. Try to prepare something and bring it. We'll accept what you prepare. Thank you. You're the counselor. Dr. Richardson, please go ahead.
I was going to talk about something that I read in Front Page Africa today that was very concerning to me in terms of our democracy in Liberia. And it was about Wulu, who is the Minister of Transportation, pledging his loyalty to CDC after Koji accused him and Musa Dean of working against the government. Okay. So I wanted to know your thoughts about that. There's something about that just loyalty pledge to me seems very destructive to democracy. It's almost like some kind of dictatorship to me. So I want to just start by asking Mr. Sano, what are your thoughts about Koji accusation that Wulu and Musa Dean are not loyal enough to the CDC and President Weah?
So you want me to go first?
No, I was asking Sano. I'm going by the
okay.
So in my introductory remark, I talk about the trend of events. What we saw in 2011. I will frequently reference 2011 because it is the most recent time when an incumbent president was going for re-election. So in 2011, you saw huge endorsement for the incumbent president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, in the Unity Party. And this took the shape and form of a wave that was uninterrupted. People from the Liberty Party, from many opposition parties were endorsing the re-election bid of President Sirleaf. Officials of the Sirleaf administration were very upbeat about her re-election. They went across the country in their various communities and they led a campaign. But in 2023, what do you see? You see a ruling party that is relatively lackluster from all indication. So the pronouncement by Koji that these people are not loyal to George Weah, it goes far deeper than just a pronouncement. Because even officials of the government themselves are not motivated, they're not persuaded that Mr. Weah can win a second term. So most of them are holding back. They are holding back not to say that they don't support him. They're holding back because they're not convinced that the Liberian people are going to give Mr. Weah a second term. And you know, this thing about the psychology of the voter, people don't like to lose. When people get to realize that you're not winning, they're not going to support you. They're not going to put a repetition, the life on the line because of you. So most of the officials of government are quiet, going about a regular, daily basis. They don't talk about politics. They're not enthusiastic about the re-election of the president. So the pronoun Makoji, is signal what is happening within the inner cycle of the CDC. There's a lack of conviction. There's no energy. There's no energy to drive the force. You see people now, if I'm going to talk about it again, you see every week there's huge endorsement. You see, Grand Gila, for example, has traditionally been a very strong hold of the CDC. 2005, 2011, 2017. Today, each part of the government is dominated by Southeastern. You have the Southeastern Alliance for Georgia re-election endorsing Bwaka. You have Mr. Edis Chassis Grant, the chairman of the Grand Gila endorsing George Weah. So yes, officials of the government who feel threatened by the pronouncement, they have to come out and say they want to pledge. They want to show their loyalty. But it is just, it doesn't go beyond lip service, because they all know that, the re-election bid of Mr. Weah is not going anywhere. So they're not going to waste their time and energy behind it. People want to be on the winning side. So that's what happened.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Simon. So let me read this to you guys. In the paper, it says that Koji said, you think, and I believe he was speaking to Wulu and Dean, you think you can engage in double standards within our rank? We have received information that you have been promised salaries until January. While we were tempted to confront you, our chairman advised against it. Take note that we are aware of your activities. If you are loyal to certain habits or a certain lifestyle that you cannot afford to disengage from, and as a result, work against the interests of this government, be warned that we were prepared to expose and shame you. So that was Koji speaking, I believe, to Wulu and to
Dr. Richardson. We got the video. You want us to play?
Oh, that'd be nice. I didn't know that we had the video.
For those of you government officials, tell me what you want to tell me. And you think you can be in our midst and be engaged into double standard. I mean, here that look, they are asking you, people telling you they will pay you from now to January. They will pay all your salary. You want to purchase your way to power? Let us know very clearly. Transport Ministry wanted to descend on you, but the chairman said we should disengage. Take note. We are aware of your interactions. If you are a lawyer to habit, if you are a lawyer to certain lifestyle that you cannot afford to disengage with, on the basis of that, you sit in this government and you begin to assist and facilitate against the interests of this government. Want to say to you, be forewarned. It was so good that the chairman intervened immediately. We were prepared to unmask and shame because it's painful when young people, old people who go on the caution sun and vote for this president, and stay bear in mind and remain hopeful. And some of you who accidentally become privileged, accidental privileged characters, we got no issue with you, but we want you to have a conscience of responsibility, and you must be able, you should be able to understand that something got you here, you must be loyal to it. To be in transport ministry and be availing yourself to the detriment of this government, you need to be forewarned. The next time we will not forewarn you. Next time we will not forewarn you. The masses of our people will have a solution for some.
There you have it, Koji speaking. So I'm gonna go to Mr. Jeru. What are you thinking? What do you make of that? I mean, this whole loyalty business.
Well, I think this is a light hook thrown into the oasis of fishes, because what Kochi is doing is it's like he's not aware that these opposition leaders, these opposition figures are in government. And this is not the first time that they have won opposition. And at this time, they're trying to create a kind of caricature certain individuals to portray their own image as people who are, who want the best for the people. And I think this is like Sandro said earlier, it is a losing cry from a ruling party that you have a minister and the minister is playing double in your government and he is still in your government, but somebody who is a party leader is raising the alarm and the man is still in the government. I don't see how it's affecting the transport minister. I think they are trying to caricature him for no reason. And look, there is a great fear in the CDC camp that George Weah may not be able to see the second round. And this fear is creating panic and is creating upheaval. And all those who are hinged to power, people like Koji, when George Weah is gone, he's no longer city mayor. I don't know whether he will get it again in the next 20 years to come. So all of them are fighting tooth and nail to see how they can resurrect that image. But it is gone. George Weah has lost the field. The first time in my political career to see the president, as a journalist, to see a sitting president to go in a market and market women call you roll. That's George Weah. I never seen that happen to him. That means his popularity has eroded. He no longer enjoys the confidence of the people, and it will be even good for George Weah to say he's not contesting. However, it's not possible at this time because he's already a candidate. But he is losing ground seriously. And I think this is affecting the party's psyche. And they don't know how to deal with how to sell George Weah again to the people. How can we tell the people that George Weah is going to do better? How can we tell the people that he's going to make a change? How can we tell the people that he is creating hope for change?
Thank you.
Hope for change.
Thank you. So we're going to go to Councillor Parker. Loyalty is expected at a certain level, party loyalty, but this level is really unseen. It's unbelievable. I want to ask you, as you kind of put your thoughts together about this, how do you think this affects our democracy as a whole?
It's dangerous for our democracy. And
but I've been here before, Paco.
Long before you stand on, long time. But no problem. So it's dangerous for our ballot politics. And unfortunately, this is not a new phenomenon. It's a phenomenon that goes as far back. If anybody who has parents who lived during the Tottenham time, there was this character they used to call Jake Milton. Yeah, it was a similar character. People who know about that character was similar. And throughout, we even came down to the Do era. You had similar characters, people from the youth wing. There was those guys who used to be very, very vocal about other people and talk all kind of stuff. These are dangerous. That kind of speech is a dangerous speech. We have to guard against it in our country, because what it does is that and are some of the reasons why we also have to divest wealth and influence and cronyism from politics. We have to be able to do that, because if someone ascends to power and a person now acquires wealth, and that person doesn't think they can get it any other way, they become very defensive and they become very territorial. And that's the kind of thing you see. We saw it pre-war. It led to the problems that we had. It led to the murder of thousands and thousands of people. We have to stem that all of our body politics. And we cannot stem that all of our body politics if we continue allowing the same kind of political chicanery to be played over and over. You still have this situation where sycophants jump from one end to the other end, and we welcome them. Into our political parties. The person was on the other side before. When they don't see their way there, they jump to your own side. When we continue encouraging these things, it creates the kind of territorial politicking that you see from that video. Unfortunately, the mayor is trying to protect his turf. I mean, I'm sure he knows that outside this enrichment, he's not gonna be anything. I'm sure he knows that. And so what's the best thing to do is to protect it jealously, and you go to the greatest extent to do whatever you want to do or you can do to ensure that you protect that level of influence. But sadly for him, their days are numbered. In a few short months, we're going to have a different government. And it's just my hope that whoever replaces them doesn't repeat the same thing. I mean, I know certainly from our own side, Councillor Gonglo is not going to repeat it. It's going to be a clean slate starting all over.
Thank you.
To speak against that kind of territorial politicking.
Thank you. So I'm going to go to you, Stanton. Your thoughts on Kogi speaking about loyalty to Mr. President Weah and the CDC government, and then I'll go to Mr. Farrakhan and then Mwali.
Oh, so let me skip me because I'm downloading a video that I want to play in relation to today's Kogi play. So go to the former deputy minister that got fired by George Weah. Go to him, please.
Mr. Farrakhan?
He covered his face, he cleaned his eyeball, knowing fully well I will strike back. But you do not strike when your strike is anticipated or expected. That's how Madam Moderator, that's exactly why I'm famous. When you expect me to pay my debt, I don't pay my debt. I don't pay my debt when you expect me. I wait when you're sleeping in the night. And you rarely sleeping. Now when I come outside, pick up Sonny and go.
But I wish that witchcraft behavior.
But when you're choosing to do your own and your time, that your time and your own. When I choose to do my own, that my own and my time. You see, I will let you slash so I can pick you up tomorrow. I don't even want to tell the people that play sleep like I said. Let me say this. You know, you guys watch the video in our newspaper. These are people that are currently serving in the government. And did you get a response from them? This thing happened ever since last week. We've been having this video. But only today from saw it? No. There's a deep-seated fear in the country. For example, the girl that was reported by Yeke on this platform that was caught registering seditions and working for NEC. Today, last night, the news broke. And if you know that when she was caught, she had sent text to the chairman and some other people in the CDC. We also have a response from the candidate Jojo as to the chat room being compromised, because then the information was picked up from there and it was true. She had been, once they fired her, she's been trying to meet the people on whose behalf she was working and got fired. And she became disenchanted, according to the information I gathered. I'm working for you, I'm fighting for you, I'm doing bad thing for you.
I'm loyal to
then
you.
They fired me, they took breath from my mouth. When I cancel, you drain me. I cancel, you drain me. And she was on the verge of spilling the beans, as I understand. And today, somebody can look at me and tell me she left in her sleep. A healthy woman like that? Are you kidding me? John Tutman, look at the gruesome way in which he died. Richard Talbot, look at the gruesome way in which he died. Bate Niswa, Matthew Innes, Gifty Lama, speaking of that, her daughter will turn 8 years old on Saturday. It's her birthday. Pretty little girl. Her picture will be placed up there. But the US government confirms that there have been extrajudicial killings. And literally, some of you will be intelligent enough and be cautious not to say Jefferson Koji called Samuel Wulu gay. For me, I don't owe anybody an explanation. He attacked his sexual identity and orientation. If some of you are loyal to a lifestyle, you can't. We already know. He's talking to Samuel Wulu. And they've been doing this since I was in government. They will always call him gay. They will refer to him as homosexual. They had all kinds of denigration to give him. And it appeared in the video. And he cannot say a word. You might say, why he can't resign? It's in your right to say so. But you're not there. Because maybe if you resign tonight, tomorrow you'll find a body. That's the kind of government you have. I'm afraid to tell you that. The Justice Minister could have ordered the Inspector General to get Koji. He's the Attorney General. But no, he's not said a word. But I will close by submitting to you, why will a little boy sitting as a certain mayor become so powerful in a country that even the president runs away from him? Why? There is a reason. And if I submit to you today, Jefferson Koji himself is counting his days because they're numbered for him to be allowed to continue to carry out the acts that he is carrying out today.
Thank you, Mr. Falcon. Shall I come back to you? See, are you ready? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you that very much, Dr. Richardson. I'm going to say my piece, and I'm going to leave you alone in your trouble, because this thing about the Liberty Party that you want Daniel Sando and Gibson Jerry to fight on, I think I'm surprised that Councilor Lamin tonight, Lamin Bakor, say he want to sit back and enjoy it. I'm going to step away because I'm a very peaceful man. You know, I always seek peace. You know, I desire no trouble on the show. So when I'm hearing folks saying that, Fagon saying that,
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
you know, when I'm hearing those things, I'm kind of very, very disturbed as to why you don't want peace, why you want problem. But Dr. Richardson, let me start with this Jefferson Koji stuff. Fagon, you're absolutely right. Is he telling Liberians that Transport Minister is a gay? Is he saying something? I mean, he said it already. We can play the clip again. And, you know, he said it. I mean, so what if he's a gay? Gibson, you said it right. There are opposition figures within the party that the governor chose to bring along. They call them opposition. But where were you guys when District 8 lawmaker, Representative Akaris Gray, told the president to fire the telecommunication minister? Where were you guys? He said it. I mean, we all were on the show, and the president did. The president fired him. So the guys them in the right, they would call and say, listen, Mr. President, fire this person. They are not in our interest. But this is very important. And I think every Liberians, home and abroad, opposition, in position, or no position, it's time for them to listen. When the name George Manawia is mentioned, listen and listen well to the reaction of the people. Must we speak? Should we continue? There's a reason why the Jefferson Koji, they are carriers, mostly gray. Mobile model is quiet. There's a reason why some of them now jumping ship. It is written. It is not in hidden. The Liberians people, the people of Liberia, our own sisters and brother, mother and father, they're standing up to the government and saying, take your money. We tire. We really don't deserve this thing. Trust me, my friend. 2017, it wasn't like this. People took out the t-shirt and print the name and stamp George Manawia picture. Now they are saying, we tire. We don't deserve this. And they calling the government official at the name mention of George Manawia. They say, roll, tiffy. And folks, all we do every evening, we come on the show to discuss the issue. But the Liberian people are the people that we should respect. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Richardson. Dr. Richardson have to run. She got an appointment. And the Liberian people are the people that we should listen to. So when Jefferson Koji come up with all his terminology, it's like he every day he got to study one word in the dictionary to use, you know. And when he come on and do all that nonsense of a talk, going after Musa Dean, going after foreign minister, going after transport minister, and President George Manawia sit, and he can say "fuen." Come on, guys. They are seeing the writing on the wall, Mo Ali. Open the phone lines. Let Liberian call. The only thing the people are waiting for right now is October 10th. The only thing Liberians are waiting for right now, October 10th. They put all the high school students together, took them under the psychometric and said, what we're doing here? And after the program, the children start walking, going home. And they are tired. Folks, when you have a government, and I will close on this, Mr. Gibson, we have a government or ministry, finance ministry, that Samuel Twe can go in every comfort, every corner where the money is, and take money without question. The roll fund money, chop it. 25 million, no one receipt. And everything you see these guys then doing, building mansions, but the Liberian people are suffering. The woman selling her cassava, nobody can buy it. It's in writing. The cold water not turned to hot water. Nobody can buy it on the street. The fire coal, people say they don't have money to buy it. Somebody said not tonight going to bed hungry. Why Samuel Twe have traveled outside the country to make deal that will bring no money? When the thing is 10,000, Samuel Twe says it's 100,000. President, we agree with him. The Liberian people, they are tired. Opposition, you can beat on each other. That's not the battle. The battle is for President Weah. This election is about President George Manawia and the Liberian people. This election is not about George Manawia and Bwaka or Cummings, no, or Tewan. It's about George Manawia and the Liberian people. The Liberian people, they are standing up to the president without fear, without favor, because they are tired. I'm going to play this one more time just to answer your question. The reason why Jefferson Tamba Koji scared like hell. He's going around looking for money, no money like before. So they must do everything. They must do everything to put fear in the people. Let's listen to what the people, let's listen to this. Somebody said that's an old clip. So what? Let's listen to the clip again. talk to us. It's not us though. That the people are speaking. Then will bring in Hussein. Then you will take over the show, Mr. Fagon. Go ahead, Mo.
Thank you. When I was listening to Koji, few things came to my mind. And maybe those who understand government will try to clarify some of my doubts. I heard the CDC Secretary General said, working against the interest of this government. Is the transport minister doing anything against the interests of the government that is undermining the function of the transport ministry? Or is he equating the CDC to the government? Because as I know it, the government is not for CDC. The government is for the Liberian people. You don't need to be a citizen to be in a government. If for any reason the president thinks that Mr. Samuel Wulu no longer follows his vision, his programs, his policies, as Minister of Transport, he has got the exclusive authority to sack the transport minister. If I thought the man is doing anything that is against the interests of the government, but as Koji spoke, I thought he was equating the CDC to the government, which is not the case. And, you know, we talk about ministers in government. Like I said, the president can fire anybody who he appointed. All we'll do will make noise. And who came on the show will make noise. We say fire. What his name? The Post and Telecom Minister, Councillor Kura. The man sacking, what thing happened? Nothing. That he right under the Constitution. But what Koji has done is to threaten the life of, I don't know if many of you they didn't get it, is to threaten the life of the transport minister. He said the next time we notice it, the masses will have a way of reacting. We know the CDC people, when they say the masses will have a way of reacting. They are reacted here several times, and we saw what happened. There are masses, the masses in their terminology is not the same masses that we have from the denotative meaning. To me, that is a direct threat on the life of the transport minister. And you know, these things are happening. Let me say they happened in the past, which I agree with, but I didn't see where the Secretary General of the Unity Party became so powerful as to threaten ministers in government. As a matter of fact, you will not have done it to EJS government. I don't think the Secretary General or the then youth chair had that leverage to do that. Because what happened then, she ran a government that was completely separate from the party. To the extent that, you know, UP partisans were complaining that we did not have that many partisans in government in ministerial position, which I did not have any problem with. I believe that government should be formed on the basis of qualification, people who bring merit to the job, people who will do the Liberian people work. It should not be, people should not be appointed because you can say the loudest, I will say the loudest muya. I wouldn't want the Joseph Barker government appointing people because they are loyal to him. They should be loyal to his policies. The policies that will improve Liberia, the policies that will lift Liberians out of poverty.
30 seconds more.
The Liberian state, They should be loyal to the Liberian people. They should not be loyal to Joseph Boakai as an individual, even if he is going wrong. And the lady climax everything in the video. So we are tired with the hardship. No more joy. We are tired with this hardship.
Thank you.
The Nigerian people are tired with the hardship. They are tired with the nonsense that coming from people like Koji. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Al,
Well,
you had the chance to listen to the video, right?
the Jefferson Koji video, right? The one that he was attacking Uru. The thing is, it's hard with Jefferson Koji has a history. I was trying to find that video. Hopefully we'll find it. Jefferson Koji behavior did way back to Ellen time. There was a story that I broke up a couple of years ago. When Jefferson Koji kidnapped this young man, took him to the CDC headquarters, forced imprisonment, and brutalized this young man. If you see the video, I should be on YouTube. I should find it.
That was Montgomery.
Montgomery. You remember, right? And he,
yes.
The guy face, what you see, you would think he was hit by 18-wheeler. The guy face was swollen. The CDC protested. They did step. Ellen conceded, and somehow they free him. Jefferson has a history of violence. One of the things I wish George Weah would have done when he came to power was to grab those overzealous young men. I think he has a potential. The thing here is, I think the president himself didn't do justice to Jefferson Koji, because the position that he's in right now, he really shouldn't be in that position. What did Ellen do? When Ellen came to power, she grabbed a couple of people to compensate them. She sent them out of the country to kind of freshen up a little. I think he could have waited. But when you start to put all these people there, and George Weah is running the country, I have to say he's running a political institution. This man refused to understand that he is now the president of Liberia, and Liberia belongs to everyone. But this notion that you got to take blood oath, go on the Sakobo tree, prove their loyalty test, and all those things, that is why born people like Jefferson Koji and other people in professional sycophants in something that would do everything to protect what they are not. One, they are not qualified for what they have. Two, where else can this happen? Where else? In Liberia, where else can you grab a Jefferson Koji and make him city mayor for the largest city in the nation with that amount of population? Nowhere. First, he doesn't have the experience. I want to attack his eloquence because sometimes he sounds like a complete idiot. But that just the tip of what we have to deal with. So he trusts these people in the position that are way bigger than them. And now this is what we have. He is protecting them because there is nowhere on earth that a Jefferson Koji will function in our. So when I watched that video, for Sam and all these people, look, Sam and all those guys, they made bear with the devil. They got to lie down in it. I'm not worried about those people that came on the other side, went on the other. No, they will come around. But from what we are seeing, and these
30 seconds.
These are signs that the regime is crumbling. When you look at everything that's going on in Liberia, the signs are there. Because whenever you see a regime crumbling, you start seeing whistleblower. You start seeing mass defection, people defecting and going on the other side. You start seeing different people booing, citizens getting tired with them. So all these signs, the writing already on the wall that this regime is about to crumble.
Thank you. I'll go over to Gibson. Gibson, did you speak on this issue? I don't recall. Daniel Sando, and then we'll go over to...
He was the first to speak.
Thank you. We'll go over to Daniel Sando for his take.
So I think the video that Koji is speaking over there has been circulating on Facebook for a while now. But it is important that we state here that this is not new to the public. This is not new to us. for some of us who have followed very closely the workings of the CDC from opposition to where they are now, it's not strange. But I mean, I've just said repeatedly that the CDC, it is unfortunate that the CDC has found it very difficult to transition from a radical movement to a political party which should be a governance mechanism. I've said that repeatedly. That is the Secretary General of the CDC will hold a press conference not to motivate officials of the government to join the campaign, but to denigrate people who he believes are working against the interests of the government. It tells you how leadership has taken a nosedive in the government. And for us to even get to a point where, I mean, a low life that Kogi will be dictating the pace of our governance and how the government should be running everything. Yes, that's because how critical is Kogi? Can Kogi sit down and think? Can he think? Can this man write an error-free sentence that the whole government upon whose shoulder the Liberian people rest and look up to be Roma Kogi? I mean, we can't help but just to add our voice to the many voices of the people across this country. In the first place, Liberians didn't do justice to their country by electing Mr. Weah, because it was clear in 2017, Ava once said it, that if you elected Joe Weah, that Mobile Malu, Jefferson Kogi will run the country. It is good that the Weah experiment has failed. The Weah experiment has now failed. And that's why you see the drove of people are matriculating towards the rescue team.
30 seconds.
It was good that Weah became president. Had he not become president, I doubt whether our democracy would have ever gotten mature. The way they found it difficult to even make the first case for his re-election, it wouldn't have been so. He had become president. Liberians have seen that his presidency was a catastrophe to our country. We want to put the broken pieces together. That's why we call on all our brothers, even the ones who are in opposition, who try to distract us repeatedly. We're not going to attack them. We call on everybody to join the rescue team. Let's move this country. Thank you.
My next round of questions, please, gentlemen, will just require 1 minute of your thought. Speaking of Jefferson Kogi, before I move over, this station ran a full bulletin of news and coverage on the now deceased individual. And it turned out it was serious. NEC conducted an investigation, found it to be true, and fired her. Last night, we received her death news. It had to do with her registering seditions undercover as a registrar. Mr. Producer, if you look at the information on your screen. Before that information, I would like for you to put up the information that has to do with her text to the chairman. If you have it. If you don't have it, then ask me and I'll try to get it over to you. But it has to do with her information to the chairman. She says in that stuff, "Good morning, Mr. Chairman. This is Antoinette." And she goes on from there. If you can find it, I will appreciate it, please. If you're looking at this, just read that, and we will try to. I'm going to send this one over to him right now. Just read the one on your screen, and then we will put the information up that she was talking about. Please. The information there, it says, this information was sent to Yeke Koluba by someone amongst us. And this is how, and this is Jojo, the aspirant in District 10. She's complaining about this information you are about to see on your screen. If you have the new information where the deceased Antoinette Ishyansi wrote. The one you just read was Jojo the candidate from District 10, annoyed that the information had leaked. Damo, if you receive it, if not, I'm sending it again. So Daima is going to get this up. In there, she says, good morning, Chair Lady. Good morning, Chairman Bolu. This is Antoinette. I'm one of the NEC workers at Namua Muslim Building as registered District 10. And he's going to put it up. Now, the investigator, she wrote, she said, please try and reach out to us so we can talk to our co-workers so that they can be flexible with the first-time voters. This is it. With the first-time voters and other people who want to register in our interests. Let us use the internet too by registering online. Women, bring all the old ladies and the first-time voter to D10 to register. Gibson laid back. So that was intercepted. But she was caught in
There's music playing in the background somewhere.
Yeah, someone please mute your microphone. Thank you. So it was intercepted, it was caught, but she was caught in the actual act of doing it. And NEC got rid of her. I will call on the producer to put her pictures up. The CDC pictures and other things that NEC investigated and found to be true. That actually CDC had people planted in most of our registration centers and they were doing these things. And so they dismissed her. My understanding is she got frustrated. You are not working. No one is helping you. And it was just too much to bear. You see that from the chat room. There's another one that she's alone by herself. They're going to put it up. You're going to see. But basically, what I want to bring you guys to is this. Since last night, there she is. Since last night, there has been this talk of war. There she is. There has been this serious talk of war. There she is, Mahaha Machine. That somehow there's a foul play. I'm going to ask you, we're not going to speculate, but given what you see, do you agree with some who says she was spilling the beans, she was talking, and maybe something must have happened to her? Or do you think her dismissal led to frustration, could have led to her death? In your mind, or into this that happened last month, and then her death? My question to you would be, should Liberians looking at this be arguing amongst themselves pros and cons as to what led to her death? I'll start with Al Hussein.
Somebody's phone is ringing.
Private mute your phone too, because sometimes you can get fear. Well, the thing is, nothing surprises me about this government anymore. It could be all their fault. Judicial killing. So this is not a government. This is a government that internationally has been recognized to be a killing machine. And the president told us that if you feel insecure, get CC camera or whatever it is. So everything is possible. People are putting their lives on the line. That is what happened when you run a court. I think the CDC over the years have morphed into a court. And this is what happens in the court. Everybody tried to protect the SEC and protect whatever rules they have there, if they have any. So I'm not surprised. I would say all of the above. It could be anything. It could be a premeditated killing. It could also be natural. We'll never know, you know. But we can only speculate for now. But based on what we know about this government, I won't put it past them. I think everything is possible.
Gibson?
If I understood you, if I'm wrong, let me know. You said she was registering seditions on her hand, right?
Yeah, she was
Okay.
caught and she was actually fired.
Okay.
This station broke the news with Yeke Koluba.
And then the National Election Commission discovered that or noticed that, investigated, and fired her. For me, I want to focus on the registering on her hand. We don't know how many more people of this caliber that are still in the system. And this is very, very dangerous. I'm even afraid that the numbers could be inflicted on sedition side just because of the kind of people that are in the system. If she had not been caught, imagine how many people she probably would have registered as sedition, maybe even double registered, because I was looking at NEC record. They have thousands of people who, I think 25,000, if I'm not mistaken, 25,000 people who are double registered. And another, I think 2,000 more, if I'm not mistaken, who, wrongly registered, something like that. So double registered 25,000, that's not a small number. Somebody get 25,000 added to the number. That's a lot of victory you are getting from right there. So I'm afraid, and I think next should go further than this, because this could be a special operation coming from the top, from the presidency through the party hierarchy, mandating their people in the system to do this kind of thing. And we don't know how many or more people that are there. We only know about one. We are sorry that she lost her life. Nobody will be happy if anybody dies. And like Hassan said, Hussein said, maybe it could be natural, maybe it could be somebody killing her to not expose the secret. It's possible. Or maybe she knows too much. And if we allow her to go out there because of the frustration, she will divulge all the information that we have in the system, the people that we have in the system, how many people are there. She will be frustrated and name all of these people. It could be possible. But for me, I'm really, really concerned about these kind of people being in the system who are subverting the actual electoral process by secretly registering people outside of the normal protocol. It is very, very troubling, and I think next should go further and investigate how many more of these kind of people that are in there. How many more? They need to open their eyes, and if anybody have information, they need to come forward with it so that we can weed these kind of people out of the system. Otherwise, this election, George Weah will not want to lose. He can do anything to win, even including cheating. But cheating is going to be a tough game for him. And if he did that, I'm telling you, he will have a lot of problems on his hands. Cheating is not an option for George Weah, but he would try to do something like that.
Mo Ali? Quickly, 1 minute so we move to the next topic.
Firstly, I would like to extend condolences to the family of that young lady. I thought she was trying to do what she was sent to do by the CDC. And once she got exposed, they abandoned her. It's like in the spy war, when they're sending you on certain operations or missions, they tell you are expandable. When you get caught, you're on your own. I'm sure that's what happened to her, and she probably got frustrated because nobody was paying attention to her. Death is something that, we should not be happy about. So I wouldn't like to talk about it much, but I believe, like Gibson said, cheating is not an option for President Weah. It is clear that the CDC will lose the election. This election is amongst opposition figures. And that to even think that because you send people places and therefore they will over-register people for you, you're playing fun, because we'll not be making fun this election. And there was one thing that we always said and agree on. If we as opposition, we cannot collaborate on any other thing, but we must be able to collaborate on pool washing. Every opposition party that is serious to remove Weah from power, we must be serious in collaborating on pool washing.
Thank you.
So, for example, the CPP, the LPP,
we'll come to that. We'll come to that.
Yeah.
Well, don't go into that subject matter. We'll come to that.
Thank you.
Councillor Lamy, you want us to move to the next topic, or you just want to?
I think I want to say something about this thing.
Okay, then go ahead.
I mean, I don't know what happened to the lady, and I will not speculate on what happened to her. Whether she was murdered, whether she died naturally, I don't know. I won't speculate on that. But I sat listening to this thing and asked myself, why was she only fired? Why wasn't she also prosecuted? I mean, this is a serious issue. When somebody is involved in fraud, especially fraud related to elections, that led to us killing hundreds of thousands of people as a result of the 1985 election, if there is any semblance of fraud, we should not take it lightly. So I don't understand why it was just fire and not prosecute. Because from what I heard about the story, the lady was actually registering underage voters, right? And that was the issue, that they were deliberately registering underage voters. It was not an issue of just registering first-time voters. But was
that was the reason why those were the underage voters she was actually calling first-time voters.
Yeah, so that's a massive issue of fraud, where you know that these people are not qualified to vote, and yet instead you decide to register them. That should have been, she should have been set an example of. And I will close with just this point. A few years ago, a particular representative won as a result of fraud, and the person who helped him in this fraud, you know what they used to do was they would take they will get in concert with the net people, and they will allow them to take materials to go and register people themselves. So there was this dispute between these two people. One of them is a sitting representative, and the other person was the guy who helped him to consummate this fraud. And the guy explained to me what happened. So they took people, they took the net materials and did registrations. They didn't have the truck for them. They didn't have to truck anybody. They just had to go register people and truck them only once. That was fraud. That was fraud. I'm not going to call any names tonight, but if it comes to it, I will call a particular representative in question. That was fraud. And most of the times when these things happen, we don't prosecute people. We don't set example. We need to get to the point where we start setting example of people. And when we convict the people who are committing fraud, when we convict them, generally, you know what I think we should do with them? We should make them to sweep the streets. While they are serving their prison sentences, they should be out there every morning. When their children go into work, they see them sweeping the streets. We need to set example of these.
Thank you, Lamy. Let's
continue being a culture in this country.
Thank you. I'm not going to go to Daniel on this one because I want to start off with, since you guys are here, what's happening with Tyrone? Where is he now? What is he doing? I'll start with you, Gibson, if you have any idea.
I can answer that. The counselor is he should be in Nima County tonight.
Right. Okay. I was just about to say that, but yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I mean,
he's visiting Nima.
The counselor have been very busy, and Eugene, you know, this is the only opposition or presidential candidate who have visited more towns and villages than any of his any of the other presidential candidates. He has been very busy. He just returned from the States, toward almost 10 states, raising funds for his campaign. Now he is in Nima, and he is going there to meet with his people again. as you know, he's somebody who once in a while he goes back to touch base with his people and carry on activity. I think he should be in Butu by now, if I'm not mistaken, like me, right?
He heading to Butu. I'm not sure he'll reach there tonight, but he's heading to Butu.
He's headed to Butu, and he's going to be participating in some programs there. And from there, he's going to be touring Montserrado County. He's going to also be touring, I think, Margibi. So this is the busiest presidential candidate who is going into the villages, into the towns, asking the people what actually affect them, sleeping on baboon beds, having the mosquito to bite him like every other people down the line. And trust me, he won't rest until this election is concluded and he is elected president of the Republic of Liberia to stop all of these things, to stop all these moral decadence that is all over the place that have been shown, the frequent, arrogant, corrupt attitude that is going on. Trust me, when Councillor Gongo becomes president, and this is why most people are afraid of him, because they know that he will not be swallowed up by their ego. He will not be swallowed up by their quest to corrupt the nation. And that is why they are afraid of him. So when the people want to go to the easy place where they can lick their hands easily, you know. so we are all aware, but I can tell anybody casting your ballot for Councillor Gongo during this election is like doing Liberia a favor by bringing in a project manager who will make sure that he has his finger on the scale to make sure the project succeeds.
Thank you. We've heard from you guys, but it would be nice if you guys begin to supply us pictures and footages. I mean,
absolutely. Maybe
again, our platform.
Eugene, I think I should be calling you Toma now. I think you know what Toma means, right?
I'm not calling you.
You know, Councillor has been to over 310,000 villages in this country.
Okay.
Yeah, over 310. The only two counties that he's not toured yet are Montserrado County and Margibi. He lives in Margibi, he works in Montserrado. So by extension, these are two places, you know, he's resident in one, and the other place is a place that he works. So he comes in and out of the two places every day. He's been to some of the most hard to reach places. He's been stuck in the mud. He's been all over the place. And every time he's out there, there are video footages, there are Facebook lives that are going on. So I don't think we have to be posting. You go to the.
No. What I'm saying, we have a producer here, Labi. We have a producer here.
And just to satisfy the people on the live on the Facebook feed, I decided not to call the representative in question name for deliberate reasons, because that was a case that I represented the other party, the other person who he sued. I represented the person, so I'm not going to betray the person's confidence. I just said that these fraudulent issues happen, and I'm happy to have been part of a case that I got clear information on the fraud that happened in the 2017 election, where people were using neg materials to register people in a village, and then on election day, they trooped those people to Grand Juliet County, and the people voted there. That place, if you look at the elections result in 2017, that particular place in question, Prince Johnson won the highest vote in Grand Juliet County because of that trucking. Because most of the people who they took them from Nima and took them into Grand Juliet, and the agreement was that we'll vote for you, but we are going to vote for Prince Johnson as the presidential candidate. So that was a fraud they were involved with. So we have to take election fraud very, very seriously. We can't be dilly-dallying about it.
Okay, thank you.
The war because of the 85 elections. We can continue having situations and not do something about them.
When we say please supply us footages, it's for the network. And you know, you will do us justice. I'm sure you will not expect Daniel Sando and Mo Ali to go be your video man or your camera man or to extract your stuff.
Video people there. We have our own.
Why you didn't take me on the election worker who died topic? Why you didn't entertain my view?
Very good, because your view will come at another day. We just wanted to keep you for next time. But anyway, folks, the reason why I asked the Congo folks, and let me make this, if you are from the CDC and you want to come, let us know. You have your footages, let us know. If you're from the ANC, you have your footages or your press release, send it to us. I mean, we'll do you justice. We're not running anybody off. Dr.
Okay, I
Francine
will
was
contact
here.
you later to let me know how we can send the footages to the producer, because I don't know where to go.
Lani is in a chat
and
room
view.
that allows that. So you
Is it
are,
the one that said discussion?
yes,
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the chat.
Okay, then. All right.
yes. Once it gets in there, the producer will extract it and do you justice. Folks, the election fever is on. Yesterday, JMB, with the noise here, but today JMB
Is that your own Gongro crowd?
No, this is JMB crowd today, and that is even the earlier crowd. You can see all the journalists, the people that just have. If you got some other pictures, you can load it from different angles. That's just, look, that's JMB right there. And that's what we want to see other parties doing. That's just
JMB
today.
in Lofa, yes.
No, this is Bannersville today. And this was not announced. You were on the show last night. Nobody said anything about it. Nobody made one word about it. But he just appeared there today. And this is what you get. And this is what you get. And I'm moderating, so I will not say more, but I will let him load as many as he can load. And this is exactly what you are looking at from different angles in real time. And this is held during working time. So workers and other peoples all around could not make it there.
So the unemployed people, right?
Now,
The unemployed people.
there's not unemployed only.
No, but most people in the country are unemployed. The government is not doing well. They're not providing jobs. So if you keep on saying workers, then you're trying to say the government actually providing jobs for the people.
And let me say this to you.
Eugene,
no one is going to leave their job at 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock to go to Bannersville. Are you kidding me, Lamin?
No, but you said doing working hours.
Today is a working day.
But honestly, if Councilor Gongo were to hold an event like this, you will see even a more crowd.
Hold on, guys. Please. So remove the picture for now. Guys, today is not Saturday. Today is not holiday. And today is certainly not Sunday. Today is Thursday, a working day. And at 1 o'clock, you are able to pull that crowd. I think we should give it to JMB. And that's why I'm going to go around beginning with Daniel Sando. Did you follow the events at Bannersville today? Unannounced, no publicity. He stuns the nation today in Bannersville. What says you?
Well, I was in Basel on Saturday with Rescue 2, and a friend, because I'm a resident of District 12. District 12 is right adjacent District 11, and so I was told that JMB will be in District 11 today, but there was very low publicity, no publicity at all, no mobilization, and today when I saw the photographs from the event on social media, I was impressed. I came later on after work and I joined. At the time the crowd had already dispersed, but some good friends were still on the field there. So I went and I greeted them and I appreciated them for the level of organization on a very short notice. We saw the whole field was crowded. You being to Morovia, you know how big Bannerville SDF is. But we are not going to argue with some of our friends who say the crowd was not impressive, who say that there was low turnout. We're not going to argue with them. We know one thing, we have to shut our critics. And that thing is a resounding victory for JMB on October 10th. When that happens, then even some of our friends who play in hardball, they will get to understand the result of the Liberian people. You know, some of us, we're very young, but at least we understand how politics works on the side of the world. And when your candidate is winning, you can know your candidate is winning. From where I sit now, I can place my best bet with anybody that JMB is the winner of this election. It is only a matter of time, but I think the Liberian people have expressed that through their massive turnout at various political events, through the opinion polls on the radio, through what we hear from the people in the communities. They're impressed. You know, let's bring me to a point where I want to say that the election of George Weah was a waste of time to the country, but it was also good. The number of persons today we see lining up to vote for JMB on October 10 would have never been so bigger if George Weah had not won the 2017 election. Yes, it's a dent to the integrity, the image of our country on the international scene. It's a waste of time because 6 years in Liberia, a country like Liberia, is a lot of time, a lot of good things were happening for people. But I think his election has already taught people a lesson that election of a president is no child's play. And so, yes, the queues have been formed. The willingness is being expressed by Liberians across this country. And I don't speak from more of a perspective. Because every day, I mean, River says, Basso or Moserado might give you. We talk to people, we know what people thinking.
30 seconds.
Today, event on the field was just one of those times where Liberians decided to show to the world that they are solidly behind JMB and there is no amount of propaganda. When I saw the picture, they would have opened a PSO fresh. I said, oh, but after the men will be in the hospital that day.
Amen. I feel it with you. Go sit down.
And I see JMB, the men were sick, you go to a surgery, but the men looking too fresh. I saw the picture, I said, wow.
I feel it with you.
Yes.
Gibson, over to you.
And before you go
to Gibson, overexcited.
You know,
before you go to Gibson,
let me make this clear to everyone.
Let's go to Gibson.
We from the Gonglo movement and the LPP, we are very cognizant of the collaboration that the opposition has to bring together to win a resounding victory, no matter who wins from the opposition. We are very cognizant of that. However, if people try to throw a jab at us, we are very, very efficient and effective to be able to reverse those kind of jabs. Those of you who are sitting down here with your conscience in you, normally you will never speak for Joe Boakai because you know that this is not the kind of president you want for Liberia. You know that, but you are here talking today like Hussein Fadiga. I got a video right here where you denigrated Joe Boakai. Eugene Fagon, you denigrated Joe Boakai. All of you, the only person I see here that still with Joe Boakai is Mo Ali. All of you have denigrated him as inefficient, ineffective, and unable to make decisions of his own. Now today, he is the best person. This is the apathy of real politics in Liberia. So I am not going to denigrate Joe Boakai. Our objective is to make sure that we preach the justice that Councillor Gonglo wants to bring to Liberia, the credibility he wants to bring to governance, the competency he wants to ensure. That's what we are concerned about. Because anybody that call political rally in Monrovia, you get crowd. Some of them they are paid for. Some of them are boss to the place. So if we in America decide, I alone can pay more than 2,000 people away to go to a rally. I can do that. I have the money, I can do that.
Well, hold on, you will be paying $1 per person?
No, I've just rent the buses.
But
and if you go there, when they get there, the party take care of it. I'm not saying I'm going to do it.
The bus takes 65 persons.
Well, I'm not saying I'm going to do that. I say if I want to do that, but it doesn't mean I will do that. So people go to rally these days not because they really like those people who go there. There are some people who go there that really like them. Some people go to see the person we are talking about. But for me, if Liberians decide to vote for a credible, agile, very clean and objective, screwed to the point that you can do what you mean, then Councillor Gonglo is the best bet.
Thank you.
But please, don't do throwing jab at us because we are capable of repressing those jabs and making it very uncomfortable for Joe Boakai too. Because we have the ability, we have the information.
But let me ask you before I go to Lami, by showing the picture, did someone throw a jab at you?
No. I mean, Sandra was speaking right now. You're talking about people in the opposition, our colleagues, the detractors, and all that kind of stuff. This is not good for opposition. If you want to speak about the government, in the inadequacies of the government, I'm cool with that. But if you think that you want to throw jabs at any of the opposition, then we have found that we are.
I don't think Sando's comment was referring to you.
And let me
Okay,
go to
then
Lami so
that's
that we'll
okay.
come
That's
back to
fine.
you.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
fine.
think he was referring.
That's fine. But let's put Joe Baga
Yes, he
there. I
wants
will
the show to
see
be hard.
Mo Ali will be special assistant, and Mo Ali will be writing his speeches. Senator Vincent Kessedy will be the most powerful man in government. If you think Magay was ever powerful, go and elect Joe Baga and see who will become powerful in Liberia, and see how corruption is resurrected and multiplied by 100%.
Let's go to Lami Kago because I see yourself laughing at your own statement.
What Gibson was saying, you know, when I saw that video of my friend Hussein, I was like, wow, you know, it's like there's no better person to campaign against Mr. Bagai other than Hussein. You know, people just got to play that video over and over, you know. So, I mean, I don't want to say how you made that kind of, it's not even 360 degree shift. It's 1,000 degree shift. I don't know how you were able to do that gymnastic, my man.
Oh, what was said in the video? Don't just say, some people don't know what was said.
The way you've contorted yourself, you know, is.
Can you share what was said in the video?
I beg you, just give him chance, let him learn, and after
we're coming to you.
Hussein, seriously speaking, when I saw that video and then listening to your current self, it's like maybe that your twin brother on that video. Seriously speaking, right? Yeah, I mean, I think that should be the disclaimer. It was Hassan that was on that video, and then you now on the other side. But I mean, I don't understand how you're able to do that contortion, you know? How you're able to like bend yourself out of shape and then be able to come out on the other side and have a totally different contradictory view. How do you manage it? How do you manage it? I've always wondered how people are able to do that. You're able to like change your views on things fundamentally with a straight face. I don't understand it. So if people want to like campaign against Mr. Bagai, they gotta just continuously play what Hussein said.
So as moderator, let me ask you: when you transition from the Liberty Party support,
we should not be doing that.
From the Liberty Party support, how did you do that the conventional way? What did you use to deal with Gonglo today?
How I shifted from Liberty Party to Gonglo?
Yeah. How did you do that?
Okay. That's easy. That's easy. I was with Liberty Party in 2005. We formed the Liberty Party in 2005. I supported Councillor Bromsky's presidency. When we got to the runoff election in 2005, I decided I was going to support the Unity Party, and Councillor Bromsky didn't like the idea. I was ostracized. There are many people in this country do not know this story, but people that know this story. I was ostracized, and I stepped away. I went into civil society. I left politics. I went into civil society. Not one day you ever heard me say, nobody ever heard me say anything negative about what happened here. I was so
let me ask you now, as moderator,
my position now, wait, small.
No,
my position now, Eugene, my position now is not fundamentally different from what I held when I was in the Liberty Party. I supported the Liberty Party because of the same reasons. Today, I'm supporting Gonglo.
You gotta give us some clarity here.
I have not changed.
You supported
fundamentally
the Liberty Party. You decided to support the Unity Party. We're not talking about individuals.
In a runoff election. Election.
Yes. And then you left. And instead of going back to the Liberty Party, you are now with the Liberian People's Party. How did you go about transitioning from one party to the other party and to the other party? What conventional method did you use? Fundamentally,
the purpose for which I supported Councillor Bromsky to run for president and help him to form the Liberty Party, fundamentally, that purpose has not changed. That is the same reason why I'm supporting Councillor Gonglo. I've not come and done a 180-degree switch.
No, you went to the Unity Party according to you.
I said I supported the Unity Party in the runoff election. We had Mr. Weah and Mrs. Salif in the runoff. At the time, everybody
2005.
2005, yeah. Everybody, almost all the other political people were supporting Mr. Weah, and Mr. Bromsky said he was neutral. Even though he had told me, he and myself had a conversation, he said, we're going to meet and have the institutional decision made. And he went and issued a press release saying that he was neutral. So when I went and decided I was going to support Salif, he called a big meeting that evening, and he was angry with me. So I asked Councillor Bromsky one question. You told me the other time you're neutral, and he said yes. And you told me that was your personal position, he said yes. I said, how come you can have a personal position and I'm not allowed to have personal position? The councillor didn't have answer to that question.
So now I put it back to you before I gave you your 1 minute to end. I put it back to you. Now that you supported the Unity Party in the runoff,
yeah,
why didn't you go back to your Liberty Party, which is existing today?
I think, as I told you, I did not go back to Liberty Party.
Yeah, that's the question I'm asking. Whether you left politics?
Wait small. I was ostracized. I didn't go to Mo Ali, Gafon, and other people to tell them, say, gentlemen, ostracize me, so you got to give me a job. I didn't do it.
Okay.
I left. I went to civil society. I worked for civil society for a number of years. And for several years, Councillor Bromsky and myself had no real contact for several years. From 2005 to 2010, it was around December 2010 when I got the first call from Councillor Bromsky in a long time. And with interferences and everything, I would begin cordial. Up to the time he died, I had very good relationship with him.
Very good.
So I have never shifted my fundamental. So
why are you not in the Liberty Party? Why are you dodging the question?
What are you talking about? Why I'm not in the Liberty Party?
That's the question.
What's the issue there?
The issue is you are in a new party, correct?
No, I'm not in a new party. I'm supporting the same fundamental reason why I decided
Let me can I borrow 10 seconds from you? Let me can I
hold on.
The fundamental reason is
Eugene, the time is.
Let me borrow 10 seconds from you.
And I need to take this whole argument from another angle.
It's the same fundamental reason I'm supporting Councillor Gonglo today.
Eugene,
okay. Let me borrow 10 seconds.
Hold on, Gibson, hold on.
Hold on. Yeah, Eugene, let me say this.
Oh, let me assess himself.
Let me finish. Gibson and
our political system is broken. Our political system is broken. It was broken when I decided to support Councillor Bromsky to fix it. When Councillor Bromsky did not get into the runoff, I decided the next best option was Mrs. Salif. And I supported her in that runoff. And I did not go looking for a job. I left it because as far as I was concerned, Mrs. Salif had told us in this country over and over that all the bad things would be fixed. She got there, and I was really hoping that she was going to fix it, and I didn't have to go work for government. So I want to do something else. Now, that system is still fundamentally still broken. And the best option to fix that broken system is Councillor Gonglo.
Thank you very much.
I have not changed.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over to Mo Ali. Mo?
Thank you. Eugene, Councillor Kpagor and Gibson. The fact that Honorable Eugene Lami Fagon and Al Hussein Uje Fadiga, who were some of the fiercest critics of Joseph Boakai, can now support the presidency of Joseph Boakai tells you the leadership trait and characteristic of Joseph Boakai. The fact that Joseph Boakai, through his actions, through his leadership ability, can convince some of his biggest critics to support him, tells you that he is a leader, and that leadership is portrayed and exhibited in his character and his working. That is the only reason why people who were critics of him yesterday can support him today. Because here is the thing. If Joseph Boakai were president, you will say, oh, Eugene, they're following the money. We will say they're following the money, he giving them money. But you cannot make that argument. Absolutely not. Eugene Fagon would have chosen to remain with Mr. Weah, with his expertise in propaganda by this time. Weah would need him more. But he saw leadership in Joseph Boakai. Al Hussein Fadiga, with his investigative ability, with his ability in propaganda, would have chosen to go to where the money is. But they did not see that leadership there anymore. They saw leadership in Joseph Boakai. So they got convinced because Joseph Boakai over the years has exhibited leadership. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with these people coming back, coming on board to support.
Please mute your phone.
To support someone who has exhibited leadership. So I don't see why we are forcing about it today. Just the mere fact that he induced them with nothing. All Joseph Boakai induced people with is his leadership trait and leadership ability and leadership capability. That's what convincing the Liberian people to come to him. Now come to the Banners Bay program. Even me who working in Joseph Boakai office, I didn't know about it. To be very honest, I entered the office this morning at around 10. He was in meeting with one political party. And after the meeting, he said, "Oh, Mo, you know about today's schedule? We're going to Bannersville." I said, I didn't know. And so I left the office. I said, well, let me go get ready and go to Bannersville. When I went there, I too was surprised with the turnout. And Gibson, you say anybody appear, any politician appear, they will get crowd, this and that, you can back up. My brother will not get money to back up. People paying their own way. The paraphernalia you saw over there, the t-shirts, the banners, people printed them for themselves. We don't get money to go be given to people to pay their way.
30 seconds.
So these things are happening because the people are seeing the leadership that is in JNB. That is the reason why they are following him. And no, because we don't have finances to induce people. Thank you.
Daniel Sano, and then we go to Al Hussein.
Well, I thought JNB is supposed to be the poorest candidate in this election. He's supposed to be the poorest candidate.
Please mute your stuff. We're getting feedback. Go ahead.
You hear me?
Go ahead.
So when my co-discussant talk about renting buses and everything, there's no inducement here. What you are witnessing is a natural phenomenon. It's a natural phenomenon that is being echoed by the popular will of the people to elect somebody in whom they believe this country can have a better leadership. This country can make progress.
Please mute your device. If you're playing another device, please.
You should be coming from the studio. You're coming from the studio.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Any feedback?
So the program Bannerville was good. It was good, and I heard Gibson talking about we're not showing jobs. The Gonglo camp has not been in the business of being attacked on the stick against JNB. No. But when we talk about northern neighbors in the opposition, we know who we're talking about. People who insist at all costs that even though all are contesting to remove George Weah, but instead of making Weah the main opponent, they have decided to make JNB their point of attack. These are the people we're talking about, and they want us to keep responding to them every day. We're not going to do that. We have a duty. We have an obligation. The predicament this country is in is far bigger than anybody's presidential ambition. That's why if we say that we want to remove George Weah, we have to be committed, bearing in mind that we need the support of everybody. And that's what I said the other day, that it is a right of everybody to say, I want to contest to be president of my country. It is your right. But it's a moment right for that. The indications are the elections are two-horse race. It's either Boakai or George Weah. Now we all agree that George Weah is a menace that we want to eradicate. JNB is one of our kind. He's in the opposition. That's why, from the angle of the Liberty Party, we didn't insist that we want to feature a presidential candidate at all costs. Yomdi Kanga Lawrence, the political leader of our party, has got everything it takes to contest for the presidency. But we said, in the spirit of opposition unity, we have to narrow the field in a way that the competition is directed at a particular target. And that target is George Weah. The Liberian people, having been victim of all of the broken promises made by George Weah. And I feel for the people in the Southeast region. just day before yesterday, we witnessed an auxiliary group that was formed to make George Weah president. The Southeastern Alliance for the Re-election of Weah endorsed Joseph Boakai day before yesterday. Ellis Graham, the chairman of the Grand Legislative Caucus, a county that has predominantly voted George Weah, endorsed Joseph Boakai yesterday. Again, I see some of our friends cherry picking. Oh, Boakai should accept the other person's endorsement. The other person should not be beside Boakai. The election is a popular election. And you need the support of everybody.
Thank you,
when
please.
Boakai wins this election, then we can now begin to query him on the quality of people he appoints to position.
Thank you very much.
When he wins the election, then we can now begin to question his integrity, his ability.
Thank you, Daniel. We got to move on to the next person.
Policy. For now, for the election, we need everybody to win.
Thank you.
We need everybody to win. And so we welcome all of this endorsement.
You came on an attack. I forget my own attack set. So it's your turn.
No, but I'm not stranger to guessing Jaru. I know someone he punches. I know someone he punch line.
But you don't get who Grayson was supporting before. Why would we ever go on a page? The senior side will bring us up.
That why Eugene, you took it from my mom. In fact, I'm not even going to go there.
TMZ town. TMZ town. You forget Gibson?
I know.
He has a Vatuba almost fought face to face.
Making to all.
Go ahead.
Making to all. The only thing I would say, I mean, nice try, Councillor Lamir. You guys try to make it about us, but I don't think it's about us. It's about the country. It's about a country that needs to be rescued. It's about an individual that, I mean, I'm just an individual. What I support Ms. Ambassador Boakai or not, the Liberian people will still carry. They have made up their mind. But one thing you guys fail to realize is I have supported Ambassador Boakai before, and I've been very emphatic about why I withdrew my support at a certain point. And some of those points, if you are going in the detail of my what I said, were valid. I was concerned about certain individual going around the old man and becoming a problem later on. But that is about me. You guys try to make it, but it was nice try. This is about what the Liberian people want. And that's one of the beauty of democracy. It can be some of the downside too. The majority, the word of the majority must be respected. And I do respect that. And when I look around, at some point it's called putting your personal interest, putting the Liberian people interest before your personal interest. I could be adamant about my position and marry it for better or worse. But when I'm hearing this call that the Liberian people want it, look, Old Man Boakai is effortlessly beating everyone on the scene. It's like the people believe that we were denied in 2017 of an election, and now it's the time to give it. Look, the man need to do nothing. If Old Man Boakai just said that we campaign, we just said that we 4 hours here in a day, Boakai will come second to George Weah or will beat him. If the people are resolved, they have reached to that point. So the notion that, what I said, you got to play what I said in context. But I'm not. Those are distractions from people like the Gonglo Kiam or the other people. I don't want to call the name because when I call the name, they say I'm divisive. For the other people, the Kui people, So I want to say, but look, you guys support Gonglo. I love the man. My man, you can give me 30 seconds. I just open my mouth. I'm hearing you. Fago.
It's 6:34.
We'll soon be going. Yeah, let me go there. Look, one of the things. I love Gonglo, Councillor Gonglo. I think he's a fine Liberian. He will make a good justice minister. But sometimes I question some of his decision making. Look, I was looking at the other time. Look at one of the worst cases of abuse in Liberia. Councillor Gonglo is representing Katie Manor, a lady that brought the Modern Mean Foundation into that country. Her boyfriend infected Liberian with HIV. And this learned lawyer, human rights lawyer, decided to provide human rights rather than taking side. No, there are a lot of things that we can beat on a good co-councillor on. When he was with the Celeste administration. Look, when we start to look, but at this time, I don't think we should be. I don't even want to go deep into the story because it's like you beating a dead horse. What good will you do when the horse is already dead and you beating on it? So when a man is at that point, I don't think. No, but I'm telling you something. I mean, if we want to pour hole in this man, yeah, it's a man that travel with the broom. And such a menace to our society.
30 seconds.
That infect our people. You defending those people. How can you be the voice? Come on. You know, so I mean, I'm surprised that you guys are in that position, and I know that we need a counselor on our side, so we won't want to beat him so that the point that he won't be able to join our team. I will submit for now.
No, but you see,
well, thank you. Before we go on,
when you bring on an issue that
no, wait now. You see, you tell you
just give up 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds.
No, you're in the 30 second, yo.
We can't do that. I myself.
No, you think about you can't
Excuse
speak
me,
us something.
guys.
You speak us something
Gentlemen.
for any context.
Gentlemen, gentlemen, this is a radio program. There are people in Radio Land listening, and they want to get their batteries work.
We got Philip Gonglo and all.
Excuse me. We gotta go through the lines and let the Liberian people have their say. However, we can't be the judge, the juror, and the executioner here. Although I was mentioned, so I'm going to take just 1 minute. You can time me. Yes, there were people who said he was a walking dead man. There were some of us who said you must refresh your brain before you take him. But guess what? If all of you were to remain as you were when your mother gave birth to you, you wouldn't be sitting here. We evolve over time. And today, some of us have come to the reality. This woman used this man for 12 years, a heartbeat away from the presidency. And she fooled all of us to believe that he was this old man that was not capable. And we went and we brought him down. No joke, we did. Today, Obama vice president became president. And today he's 80 years old and running. He's 2 years older than Joseph Boakai. None of you guys in America say no, but she told us they were too old. They should turn over to a new generation, and we were blind. So today, we cannot talk about Royal Hotel. We don't talk about Farmington. We don't talk about Western Cluster, Golden Ferroleum. We don't talk about Pan-African Capital Group. But today, many Liberians know that even Cummins was here in 2007 with Pan-African Capital Group. That they ran everything you see today. Today, many Liberians know that he was given the nation's highest honor in 2011. Today, many Liberians know that Clarence Moniba was a minister for state for presidential affairs and in charge of the presidential delivery unit. Plus, he was her chief negotiator. When we came to power, the Liberian people voted for change. Look at where Bezonga is today. But he was our foreign minister. Look at Vani Salif, Eugene Langwe, all those people. Did we bring change? No. For 6 years, have we seen investors? No. They shut it down. And they want to impose upon us another 6 years of suffering. Are you asking me that because I said this about Joe Boakai, therefore I must remain there and let the country die or drain? My friend, we are on a train to rescue the country. If you are supporting the death of Gefty Lama, the death of Matthew Innes, John Tutman, Richard Talbot, and the list can go on, then I encourage you to sit back and allow the country to be as it is. For me and my household, even my chicken and dog, we will rescue Liberia. And so I will, the 1 minute finish. What I want us to do is look at one or two clips. Tama, can you go ahead and show the clip you showed just now? That was just from the field today. And let me say this. If you got your clip, singing, who buying jet? And you were here that job, we are buying jet. Parker building houses? No. Parker building houses? Now who building houses? Joe, we are building houses. And the song goes on and on and on. But I think it's only fair that we go to the Liberian people and allow them to have their say. We have given our opinions, our analysis, and what have you. The question for our people out there that are listening today, given what they've heard from us today, on any one of the topics, they can have their say as the people who own the station. Dama, are you there? Who's in studio? Will he come forward? Now, I will give Gibson that 10 seconds he asked for, so as to allow the guys in studio to prepare themselves. Gibson, over to you.
You were giving my own tool.
You know, I told the people.
Wait, let the man finish first. So what's the man say, Hassan? So what's the man say, Al? You are a good man. I love you. What Gaten
Al Hussein, or his brother Al Hassan, one of them is a justice, it's in the justice system. But I don't know if they understand or Hussein understand that a human rights lawyer can represent anybody. So what he was trying to say right now to corrupt the minds of the people is that when Gonglo represented the Grangidians who they said killed people in Ivory Coast, who did not have any lawyer, Gonglo should not have represented them. When Gonglo represented Rwanda who they said accused the government and slandered the government, he shouldn't have represented. No,
I was talking about a white lady that brought her boyfriend affected Liberia.
Mr. Fadiga, I will give you a chance when I finish.
Hold on.
I'm just telling you, as a lawyer, a human rights lawyer for that matter, when people do not have legal representation, you provide a legal representation. By you representing a client does not mean you condone their acts. It means you are providing the justice system to work in their interest, to provide a justice system not to corner them, not to defeat them without them being represented. So I will encourage Councilor Gonglo, even if somebody had HIV and infected 1 million people and that person does not have a lawyer, I will tell Councilor Gonglo, if that person engage you, represent them, because everyone requires a representation in the court of law. And if you don't have it, that is why Councilor Gonglo today have become poor, because of some of you he have been representing. You are paid nothing to him, and he is continuing to advocate for that reason.
Thank you very much. Studio, are you ready? While we go to Al Hussein for his 10 seconds. Studio, are you there?
You gotta get my own 10 seconds too.
Okay.
Are you
ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's go to the full lines, or else the whole program will be 10 seconds.
Go to the full line. I will submit for now.
Okay, so the numbers are 077771075, 055510107.
And before you go on that, the MDR has issued a statement, guys. I put it in the chat room. Literally, it says to ability, NIMBA is not your tough, and MDR will fight you to the death politically. You will not hold a seat in NIMBA. I put it in the chat room, and it was signed by the leadership of the MDR, and of course you heard from Mo Ali, the Unity Party. So it's just fair to say to Musa Hassan Bility, your legislative bid is over. Over to you, studio.
Okay, let's take this first person here. Good evening, welcome.
Hello.
You are live on the radio. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Anthony Dennis, Commander New General Jafelofo,
Go ahead.
calling for the New Jamaica. You know, when we hear Eugene Fagon talking, we don't know why he stand. Because Eugene Fagon start on, let's say, ARP, the Benin Ahiri. He went, while he's all together, he got up and then he escaped. He joined the CDC. He supported our president. Allah, he escaped from there. Now he will be United Party. But you know, Eugene Fagon is a disgrace to his life.
Let's take this person. You're welcome. Hello, welcome. You are live. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, let me just inform you of that tomorrow, just we prepare for him tomorrow.
Sorry, we didn't get you. You said what?
Huh?
What's your name and where you call us from? Just
I said my name is Arthur Matale. I call from Portland.
District 3. And you were saying something about District 3. What did you say?
Yeah, District 3 to radio. You get me?
You got to come clear. What were you saying about District 3? You said what's going on there?
Yeah, no, we will be busy on tomorrow.
Oh, okay, JMB will be visiting you guys tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, right to the city to the supermarket. Soon will be tomorrow will be there. We're going.
Okay. Thank you.
Wow, that's big news.
Well, they convey the news here. I don't think you're able to do that. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, you're live. Go ahead.
Yeah, hello, good evening. My name is Sergio Russia Junior, calling from Congo Town, Temple Valley community.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, the issue, let me say that, what can happen, if you don't know your function of your work, then what can happen. If you see better that coaching better than forcing people around, that means because most of you don't know the function of the work. As well, mera coaching going over his function down. Or you know the function of the work, you're going to prosecute. I don't know the function of the work on coaching, but so all of them separate and do it separate. Why anything what call punishment?
Okay,
So
thank you.
to the two guys now is the Councilor Gongo supporter. We know that the Gongo is a good guy, good counselor, so I appreciate it for that. But I don't want to go much in the door. No person can also join the GMB team. About GMB, I think it's a natural report on that. Let me say that to you for bringing analysis on the show every night. We really thank you. That man, people, what I said about that yesterday, all one now, George Jasmine go. But that's our plan. Everybody's going to get on. Let's keep the guy out of town because everybody are suffering. Our mother are suffering out there. The kids are suffering. Everything is in hard place. So
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's take this person. Welcome.
Aaron, good evening.
Good evening. You are live. This person sounds
you.
like Pascal Davis.
Yeah, this is Pascal Davis. Let me say thanks for the show. Look, you know, Aaron, it's sad for all of us in this country, especially for Mr. Fagon. You know, when we speak of moral, we need to, there's a reason why many times I always attack some journalists. Should we still listen to Mr. Fagon? I mean, do you have the moral rectitude to caution somebody? You, Mr. Fagon? You think Liberians are stupid sort of people? That you want political butterfly, you live for one political party?
Pascal, the reason, hello? The reason I'm laughing is that no one tells anyone to listen. When you say, should we still listen? I know you are.
No, the reason is very simple. You know, the relationship is so when people are not checkmated, sometimes what Fagon says.
So checkmate us now instead of just talking.
So we want to question people who are questioning people. Who has Mr. Fagon to even question? In fact, you think people should even get you credit? You just saw yesterday that President Weah was the best president. And you maintain that. We stand by that. You come today and say the man is not the president. Something must be wrong with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Pressing out that way. Welcome. You gotta be loud. You gotta be loud, please. Let me see if I can do an adjustment from this side. Welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you, my name is Cooper Anthony.
Cooper, you sounding like you lying down. Go ahead.
The SFC, you know how activities today they send about party, rescue.
They even have finished them for work today. Go ahead anyway. Almost 11. You just left the place.
Because after in the system, where we you know very well when occasion took place, get the aftermath. People have to disperse consequence. So the father I just reached home and I speak for even my home because there's a I work over time. Happy is not the issue. Let me appreciate the panelists. I think Honorable Falcon has spoken well. Brought serious sense to the school. So today I'm seeing people that they were Honorable Falcon years, months ago, trying to question the integrity and hard selling repetition is laughable. The father people stay for distance work with Josh we are and the feeling of mind just we are feeling like people they try to do a U-turn in order to rescue this country because we lost our peace, we lost our recognition, we lost our country when it comes to value. Nobody recognizes that when in the West region, not less about the entire continent. So it's just that we need a reputable president, Ambassador Barkai, to rescue Liberia because Liberia needs to be recognized. Yes or yes, months ago, people in Ghana, people in Nigeria, they came to this country, they attended the mother Liberia, they acquired quality education because Liberia was set on the planet, on the continent, and one of the best countries to acquire better education. Today, how many Liberians can brag about their own university or less about foreigners? So, like I said, we are failed. We had nothing else but to escorting on authority because yes, what a couple went to the bushes to bring conflict in this country, but what to the ballot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
President, thank you. We are tired suffering without a mismanagement, without corruption, without killing all
Thank you very much. Thank you, Cooper. I don't want to do this, but I have to. Let me take another person. You're welcome.
Well, thank you very much. This is Sandro Mo calling from Dola. Member of thank you, Mr. Pagon, and all of for the prayer analysis and maybe. And let me say thanks to our people from Ghana today and show us that massive strength. And we call all of community to follow through. This election is not about Keteku and GND. GND is not incompatible with any Keteku party. You know yourself, I will not call you, but you know Keteku. You work from party. Don't compare yourself with GND. We are targeted with the party. It's not Keteku party. That's what I'm going to say.
Thank you. I should take more, right?
We're taking two more.
Okay, two more. This person, welcome. Hello? You don't seem to be ready. Let's take this person. Welcome. Hello, go ahead.
Yeah, it's not only from Togo, to be exact.
Station 14, welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I've been listening to the show and it's my first problem, but Eugene Falcon there is a guy that's very confusing in the Liberians. This man leave from another camp, going to another camp on his in this camp. He talk a whole lot of good things about that camp, having a self-benefit. But now he leave from the Georgia camp, going to the Union Party camp, and then having a self-benefit, telling all of them to go and vote this party tomorrow. The brother they're going to telling us again to vote for it. Then you stop confusing yourself, saying it's confusing like people. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Just found a person here. Then
Thank you very much, Aaron.
Go ahead.
This is DJ Lomel from Cowell. Let me say hi to the panel, Mo Ali, Eugene Falcon, Farida, and my esteemed lawyer, and Mr. Kissing. Let me say thank you to the panelists for the talk program tonight. This thing from the ANC side, I hope be smart. Because one of the ANC members said, then Sandy in person, he said this is the time for United Party to be attacking the ANC and the ANC be attacking the United Party when you were on spoon. So I said, you think this is the right way? He said, man, move for him, man. Where when Joseph Boakai come to court? I said, Joseph Boakai never come into court. When to court when Joseph Boakai, when the cherry carries the rape, Joseph Boakai was not there. The woman running away. The woman said he went to court. So today, if you're seeing that the ANC will be attacking the Unity Party, if from Ben Sandy, because Ben Sandy is a former member of the CDC, so
Thank
they
you.
know the things that they have brought. But thank God that Honorable Fagunde and Mo Ali always said this on the radio that we shouldn't
Take two more calls. Hello.
For the Gongo group, I know Gongo will come over, so we'll not be attacking them. Those that are attacking us, we know how to handle them. So the show was so fine, and I bless God for all the panelists tonight. May God bless our country and save our state.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's take this person from this side. Yeah, you're part of the 2 additional calls. Welcome. Welcome. Are you there?
Yeah, hello.
You are live. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Edmund Siwu calling from Steven Tower Estate.
Go ahead.
Aaron, I expect for you to cut people off that will go against Fakon. Fakon is saying the truth. Fakon should rule we are for life. We are doing the wrong thing. Let's stop and cut those guys off.
No, but people have the right to
Like
disagree now.
They shouldn't do that, but they can go as far as going personal with Fakon. Let's stop it. Fakon is saying the right thing. Thank you.
Okay. That's your view. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Panel Spoon TV.
Good evening. Welcome.
Yeah, my name is Lawrence Moses. I'm calling from Pinsville. Let's say this to the nations and to our panelists. We appreciate you for work, most especially when it comes to GMB movement at this time. It is a movement that nobody can stop. The masses are resolved to elect Honorable Chief to the next president of this country. As I'm speaking to you on here, the National Young Professional for Wakakun, we are using our own resources, printing our own shirts and jackets to tell you people that Britain are resolved to be part of this change. No amount of propaganda or nothing will stop the excitement in young people and people who know the name about the next person in this country. We are calling on other opposition leaders to see this as a clear reality, to got their interest in join the train that we can rescue this country. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mo Ali and the rest of the panelists.
Okay, thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
The end for mine here.
Thank you, and stay in studio. Don't run away. Stay right there, my man. Don't run away. The Liberian people, if they see you running away, Cuban, they will chase you. Before we go for our closing, guys, we witnessed one of the most brutal I will say